Planning and construction, but years of neglect and custom maintenance are showing. You can see it, and your vehicle is feeling it. Infrastructure can last for years with a little TLC, but when repairs are deferred, minor capital plan. Contact your MLA and demand stable infrastructure funding. Find out how at fixourroads.com.
A message from the Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
From the local lakes to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utility. Deep center field. This is going to do it! Reliably and safely. Queens! Gas co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Debt can take over your life. The stress, the constant worry, it can feel like you're drowning. When people come to see me, they're often anxious and feeling hopeless. But when I explain how I can help them get out of debt, those feelings melt away. I'm Parveen Middleton, licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. I will create a personalized debt relief plan so you can move forward with confidence. Call 1-833-BDO. BDOdebt.ca to discover your debt-free future.
Hey.
The Jason Gregor Show.
You know what I'm right, or you just can't go because
On Sports 1440.
Fastball up. White ball, deep center field. This is going to do it! The Marlins walk off the mound with a grand slam! It's the Marlins, who are the kings of Queens.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Challenge for the rebound. Henry Williams in there. Tries to secure it. Still time. Spurs do have it. Purcell. Wembanyama. I think he's going to go. From midcourt.
What a magnificent Monday afternoon. How are you? And welcome to the Jason Gregor Show on Sports 1440. Sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. As always, brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website where 100% of the revenue stays right here in the province at playalberta.ca. And tonight, of course, got some more NHL. Pivotal Game 3 in Montreal. I wish Play Alberta like who's going to be the flag bearer, which is kind of the torch. Well, not flag bearer, the torch bearer for the Montreal Canadiens. Become a thing, of course, at every game. You have a former Montreal Canadian walking out with the torch, and everybody is fired to go and ready to go. So we'll see what it looks like, but it'll be fun tonight, and there's lots to discuss on the show today. 833-401-1440 is where you can text us. 833-401-1440. Also, you have the Colorado Avalanche. It's not official, but their season's over. Come on. They're not coming back in this series. It's they had a good run. They're up 3-0 in game 3, and a lot of people thought, okay, after the first period, how many of you, myself included, would have said, oh, you know what? They're coming back. We're ready to roll. I think they'll be good. No, they were not. They had a 3-0 lead, and they blew it. And it was It was just a slow death for the Colorado Avalanche. And there's a few things, and I've said this many times, but we always have to remind you. Like I watch online, Avs fans now, they want to fire everybody, right? All their players suck. These guys are brutal. There's some guys that are playing hurt, right? Like, a lot of them are like, hey, Marty Necas has to do more. Okay. He definitely could score another goal. No question. But did they lose that game because Marty Necas? No, look in the first period. Marty Necas made an unreal play on the Kadri goal. I don't know if he was at fault because they blew a 3-0 lead. Now, he hasn't scored. He's only got one goal in the playoffs. And ideally, you'd like him to produce more than that. Totally valid. I get it. But I don't think he's the main reason. Like, he's a point-a-game player. He's got 12 points in 12 games. Like, if you're a point-a-game player in the playoffs, that's pretty good. Right? He's a plus player. Now he hasn't scored. There is some truth to that. You need your big guys to score some goals for you. No question. But it's a lot of them are saying, I got to get rid of Jared Bednar now. And I'm like, really? You suddenly think Jared Bednar's the problem? And who knows? Maybe because everyone's like, yeah, but look at what happened to Cassidy and Tortorella. Sure. Right? The players, they needed a spark. Okay, they got a spark. But Colorado dominated the first 2 rounds. I didn't hear anybody thinking that Bednar was a terrible coach then. So now suddenly, they should fire him because they're down 3-0 and suddenly they'd come back. Like, come on. It's a little bit different. Cale Makar's hurt. He's clearly not. Now, he got better as the game went on. And then Nathan McKinnon, he's playing on one leg. Nichushkin's like, you got some key injuries. Oilers fans know all too well about that. But so do lots of teams. Because I think there's 8 teams right now that I say are in the real window. Montreal's knocking on the door. They're pretty darn close to being in that inner circle. But if you look for the last 5 years, Edmonton, Florida, Colorado, Vegas, Dallas, Carolina, right? Like those 6 teams, you look and say, hey, any one of them could win, get a few things. Now, I had Carolina 6th out of them because they can't seem to win the 3rd round. Right? You'd put those teams in there. And then after that, you say, well, Tampa Bay maybe. Now Montreal's starting, I think, to get into that zone. Right? They've got their young guys have got a lot of experience. Cole Caulfield was a rookie when they went to the Cup final in 21. So, and they've been able to kind of turn over their roster in that time, but still have their main guys and just add to it. And it's hard, man. You get in there, and when you have equal teams, if you get a key injury to one or two of those guys, or one of 2 of your guys just doesn't have it for a week, it's good night, Irene. It's over. And so that's why I dug into it a little bit today. I got an article coming up today on, because I keep hearing and reading about how the Oilers just got to trade Darnell Nurse. Just get rid of him. And then you're going to have to add something to sweeten the pot. And I'm like, pardon? Who? Well, because he makes $9 million. So what? Teams are dying for defensemen. Darnell Nurse played the most minutes of any Oiler 5-on-5 in the playoffs. And when he was on the ice, they outscored the Ducks 7-3. Now, Darnell Nurse has some warts in his game. No question. But if you think he has no value, I'm sorry. You're focusing only on AAV and nothing else. Like, time on ice doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Right? Or the fact that the guy is always healthy. Right? You're going to trade away Darnell Nurse for nothing to free up the cap space to spend on who? Right? Who are you going to get that can play 20 minutes a night? Jamie Alexiak on Seattle averaged 16.56 a night. He's not going to come and play. Darnell Nurse in the playoffs played 20 minutes a game, 5-on-5. 5-on-5. So I have no problem if you want to trade Darnell Nurse, but you better be trading him for someone that's not a Stuart Skinner trade. Okay? Everyone was like, get rid of Stu Skinner. I don't care who comes in. Yeah. How'd that work out? So I have no problem if you want to trade Darnell Nurse, but I think people are, all they're doing, they're blinded with rage of only looking at what he doesn't do and forgetting everything he does. The best ability, availability. He's always available. Can you say the same about Wallman? Can you say the same about Ekholm? You're going to you're in your window to win, and you're going to trade away a guy just to free up the cap space to spend on who? Well, no, then you can make another trade. So now it's going to cost you even more assets. Like, it's not a great strategy. It's not a good strategy at all. So at least the Morgan Riley trade makes sense because Morgan Riley plays pretty much the same amount of minutes as Darnell Nurse. I looked at their even strength minutes over the last 3 years. Darnell Nurse played 4,554 minutes of even strength. And 44-26, I think it was for Riley. Riley played 6 fewer games. Like Nurse played 239. He only missed 7 games. And Riley, he only missed 14 over a 3-year span. Like 3-4 games a year. All right, I can live with that. I think Darnell Nurse had the one major injury in his career. It was early on. That was it. The guy's been pretty darn healthy. He's played through some injuries. I get that he has some warts in his game. But if you think that you're just going to give up on a defenseman who plays 20 minutes for nothing and think you're just going to find him, replace him, I don't think you're watching the playoffs. There's a shortage of defensemen who can play 20 minutes. And not all his minutes are great. I totally agree with that. But find me a defenseman who's are. So I just think the rhetoric about trade Darnell Nurse for nothing just is making absolute zero sense to yours truly. That doesn't make much sense at all. So I'd be hesitant. If you want to trade him, we can talk a trade that's realistic. And you don't have to win every trade. I think that's another fallacy. It's like, well, if you make a trade, you got to win it. You got to school the other team. No. Just don't want to be the team that gets schooled in the trade. Right? That's all. If you make a trade that helps your team and it helps the other team, good. It's a good trade. And sure, it'd be nice to have a Podkolzin for a 4th rounder that really pans out for you. Awesome. But you don't need to, you can't go into every trade thinking, well, I'm only going to make the trade if I hit a home run. Because then you know who you are? You're the guy in your fantasy league that everybody hates because you only offer them garbage trades. And you know who you are. Right? I'm sure there's guys in Conman in your fantasy league. You know who they are. Right? We got a few guys in our league that I play with. I'm just like, stop wasting my time. Hey, can I have your starting running back for my 4th-string wide receiver? What do you mean? It's a good trade. Like, you delusional? So, hey, you want to talk about trading Darnell Nurse? We can talk about it, but you got to have a realistic conversation because I don't think that is very realistic. Also, today, special day on the show because today is we are going to have our Gregor's Giving Gang for Kids Sport. This is Kids Sport Week. It's they raise awareness all week long, and we always pick one day of the week on our station, and we get people to help out with Kids Sport. This creates access to sport programs for kids from underserved families and gives them a chance to lace up and play. There's 90 different sports facilitated through the 400 Sport Club and school partners within Edmonton. So whether it's soccer or basketball, like lots of different activities, man. And just think about some of your best memories you have are playing on a team. Just being on the team, like, because not everybody wins. You know, sure, you probably remember the year you won something, whether you're 10, 12, 14. You probably remember winning for sure. But usually you just think of, hey, man, I had a lot of fun. And maybe now you're still playing rec league and hockey. Maybe you used to play baseball. Now you're playing slow pitch, whatever it is. Sports, you feel part of something. You learn about yourself to be competitive. You learn how to win. You learn how to lose. You learn how to be a good teammate. You learn how to have to accept your teammates, even some of them that annoy you at times. We've all been there. And it's great. So this is how it is. It's really easy. And it's $25 a month or a one-time fee of $300. It's your choice. Either one. Now, it's tax-free. Not tax-free. You get a tax donation. Okay? So if you want to do a $300 once, or you just say, you know what? Just put it on my Visa. I want to look at my Visa bill every month. No, $25. I'm helping a kid get into sport. So this will be the 6th year of our Gregor's Giving Gang. And through the first 5 years, we supported almost 500 kids. Raised over $143,000, which is awesome. So if you want in today, it's very simple. Just text me your name And if you want to do 1 kid or 2 kids, just because we have a tally, we want to get to 112 kids. Okay, that's our goal. If you ask why it's such a weird number, because we did 111 last year. Okay, I'd like to do a little bit more. So I want to get to 112. 833-401-1440. You can do 1 kid. We actually had a few people last year who did 4, which is awesome. 2, 1, it doesn't matter. It all adds up. So just text in your name, and I will pass. And if you want, just give me your name because I'll have your number, and I pass it on to Dane and everybody at Kidsport. They will reach out to you today or tomorrow, get all your information. Then you'll be part of it. We like to give you an update kind of during the year, so you have a little bit of sense of where the money's going and stuff, which is awesome. So 833-401-1440. $25 a month, or $300 for 1 kid. If you want to do 2, it's $50, $600, $300, $75, $900. You know the math. So 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Hey, Gregor, I've heard everybody claim Nurse has agreed to waive his no trade clause. From who? Who? You got to tell me who said that, because I've never heard it. Not saying it's not realistic, but I'd be surprised. You don't go around and say, hey, do you want to waive your no trade clause? Well, do you have a trade on where I'm going? Usually what happens is you talk to a player. Now, St. Louis is a little bit different, right? Hey, we have a trade, right? Here would you go? Because if you're going to do it, he's going to tell you some teams that I want to go to. And then you move on. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. This is where you can text in your questions, but also get in on the Giving Gang today. Coming up on the show, Jeff Merrick's going to join us. We got Kara Ramos. She's a kid sport parent. She'll tell you kind of the impact it has. She's been on the receiving end to be able to help out. And she's got a pretty interesting story. Shane Willis will break down the Hurricanes and the Canadians. It's down to a best of 5, baby. It's looking like that might be the only series worth watching, because Colorado, it's over. It's over. Just a matter of whether it's going to be in 4 or 5. Remember, Vegas was up on Dallas 3-0 in the conference final in 2023, and then kind of took their foot off the gas. I don't think they're going to want to do that again. Got 2-minute warning with Tater. We got some stats of the day for you. Mark Spector will be by. Nick Anderson, the Elks. I know it's preseason, and it's hard to really evaluate a lot. But in watching that game, and maybe the broadcast worked fine for me, so that was a good sign. But you see how the Elks want to play. They want to play fast on defense. But I was more so focused on the offense, Connor Halley. 15 passes. It resulted in plays of 10-plus yards. Okay? They were throwing the ball downfield. Big, to me, and that was all the quarterbacks. So that, to me, is the game plan of the offense, right? It wasn't just one quarterback. It was spread out across all 4. Even Cody Fajardo, both of his completions went for double digits in yards, right? 14 and 12. Now, I know we can look and say I was only 2 for 6. It's a little bit too early for me to get too much. I'll focus more. I'm assuming he's going to play more than 6, have 6 throws in his next appearance. But Powell put a little pressure on him, Cons. 13 out of 14. The only one that didn't complete, well, he actually didn't have a ball drop the ground because the other one was intercepted.
Yeah, we joked on Fantasy Frenzy. Catchable balls. He throws catchable balls when none hit the ground. But I'm with you. You know what? Like the running game, we saw a little bit Isaiah Knight, Rashawn Baker. This team knows what they have at the running position. They got to figure out the air game. The running game, to me, as always, gets set up by the pass. So you got to figure that one out. And, Cody Fajardo, 33%. That's not great, but it was the first go-around. Everyone else was extremely efficient. Powell, 13 of 14. Even Zabrowski was 3 of 3. Snyder, 5 of 7 with a touchdown. Like, that was encouraging to see. And it's one preseason game. I take it for what it is. But I think it's a good sign that this offense seems to be a little bit more efficient and they're pushing the ball downfield. So it was a good effort. And like you said, CFL Plus actually impressed me. User error. I accidentally left my phone connected to a Bluetooth speaker, so I thought I was muted. But once I figured that one out, it was quite nice.
Oh, awesome. Okay, man. Hey, holy cow, we got a big run on some donations here early on. People are in the giving mood. I love it. So we'll get to that. 833-401-1440, 1440 when we return. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Experience the home ice advantage with your window coverings. Novo Blinds provides factory direct pricing and fast turnaround on roller, zebra, blackout, drapery, and motorized blinds. Book a free in-home consultation at novoblinds.ca.
Our new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more, like Sprite Berry Bliss, creamy strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream, all swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
A huge thank you for making Sports 1440 the most listened to sports radio station in Edmonton. From Gregor to Carius to Low Tide, we've got in-depth analysis on all your favorite sports. We are Sports 1440.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Rivalries run deep in Alberta football.
Edmonton all the way. Calgary rules.
But when it comes to the best snack for 3-down fun, there's no Battle of Alberta. It's a clear winner.
Wilhock Beef Jerky.
The one thing every Alberta fan agrees on. So whether you're watching the game from your recliner or in the stands, make it a part of your game day.
Wilhock Beef Jerky. Because you don't win games with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Island Rides is one of Alberta's premier specialty charter companies. With our luxury motor coaches, we provide our customers with the safest and most reliable ground transportation services. Our seatbelt equipped top-of-the-line motor coaches have become the preferred carrier for many local sports teams, tours, corporate outings, and other various travel needs across Western Canada. For more information and to request a quote, contact sales at 877-748-0991 or visit silentrides.ca.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Mortgages to Go. Need cash and have equity in your home? Mortgages to Go has you covered. When the bank says no, they say yes, and they've been doing it in Alberta for over 23 years. Call 1-888-888-5998 or visit mortgagestogo.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
223, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Man, we got a lot of donations here, so I'll try to get through them. A few of them here. Tony was the first one in today. We got Sevi is in for 2 kids. Fabian is in for 3 kids. We got Easy Chill Rentals is in for 2 kids. And also now we got a boatload of other ones coming in here as Mike, Dean, Kyle. They all came in at 1. Steven has 2 kids. Kyle at 1. Dawn at 2. Michael at 4. Attaboy, Michael. I love it. Rami, Jonathan, Tanner, Gordon, and our own Connor Halley are in for 1 as we get off to a good start here. So I'll keep them updated. Text in 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You just text in with your name. It's $25 a month, or you can do a 1-year payment of $300. That gets you for 1 kid. Some people are doing 2, so just double it, $50 a month or $600 one-time payment, and away you go from there. Obviously, you'll get a tax receipt for this, and we give you an update as part of Gregor's gaming gang throughout the year to kind of update you on what's going on. So it should be great. So thank you very much. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's time now to get to our big guest of the day, brought to you by Silent Ice Center. And coming up later this year, Mean Gene Simmons in concert at a very good venue. It's a great venue for watching. I always like concerts, man. It's a little bit more, it's a little smaller. Sometimes it's better. At least personally, my own experiences, especially if you're a fan of the artist and Gene Simmons, there's a lot of you. He'll be playing all the classics. Gene will be there. Get your tickets, silenticecenter.com. Host of The Sheet on the Nation Network, Daily Face-Off, Jeff Merrick joins us. Jeffrey, how you doing?
Hey, bud. My first concert ever, my first real concert ever was Kiss, 1979. Dynasty Tour. I was made for Love New. Yes, I was in the greens at Maple Leaf Gardens with my dad and my sister. I think I was 9 years old, I think, something like that. And I still have like a photo album of like really grainy old pictures. So when you say Gene Simmons, Griggs, I always think, oh, my first real concert ever. A band by the name of New England is an obscure name for you. Opened up for that one. But yes, Kiss at Maple Leaf Gardens, 1979.
Now, are you like a big concert guy? Like how many concerts?
I used to be. When I was younger, like at Maple Leaf Gardens specifically, and then like, you know, like going around like various bars. I love going to see bands in bars, and then you get into like, you know, bigger venues. I go to like, I'm trying to think like the last my last concert that I went to was probably Tool 2 years ago at Scotiabank. Before that would have been 9 Inch Nails. And I'll tell you what, though, I'm one of those geeks that's in love with Angine de Poitrine. So I'm dying to see them when they come to Toronto later on this summer. But when I was a kid, I would be going to Maple Leaf Gardens like 5-6 times a year to see concerts. Deep Purple, Black Sabbath, Ozzy. Like I was a metal kid when I was in my teens. So that was the sweet spot of the bat for your boy here, Jason.
All right, there you go.
What about you? Concert guy?
I've become one as an adult. My first concert, I was like 14. I saw the Beach Boys at K.
Oh, yeah.
In Edmonton. And then I didn't see another concert. I saw the Hip, I think, when I was like 19.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a huge Hip fan, but all my buddies were. So I'm like, all right, we went. And I had a great time. Like, it was super fun. And then, you know what? I saw the Hip twice, once again with our junior hockey team. We played on, and then I got in my 30s, and then I went to a lot of concerts. I got to see a lot of big. I kind of lucked out and just got a lot of tickets to a lot of. Well, I bought them, but still went to a lot of. Like Lady Gaga is still one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
Oh, I believe it.
Like, I was stunned at how good she was. I was like, God, this woman could sing.
You know who had the same effect on me too, and I love how at the end of the concert there was like no encores. Like she just came on, she performed, didn't do the clapping seals, begged for me to come. Madonna. I went and saw Madonna with a buddy of mine in the industry. He's like, hey, you got nothing to do tonight? Come, we're gonna go check out Madonna. We'll sit in the Sony box. I'm like, sure. I've never seen. Blew me away. Just like solid two hours, maybe 2:15, bam, and then that was it. No begging for more. Like, I love that about artists. One of my pet peeves is that milking the fans to beg you to come back on stage for the requisite encores. I always kind of found that like a little bit, I don't know, maybe tasteless. Like, we've just paid hundreds of dollars to come and see you. Don't make us beg for you. Do your show, say goodnight, and we'll all go home. What's the begging part for? Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Well, the Colorado Avalanche would be begging for some help.
Yep.
Like you have injuries at the wrong time, but also like they blew the 3-0 lead before McKinnon got hurt in that game. Like it was, that was a terrible second period by the Avalanche. Awful.
It was awful. You know what? You got to give it to, and even by the end of the first period, Carter Hart could have completely folded. And even after that third goal, like Carter Hart, like bit down on the mouth guard and said, no, we're staying in this game. I know the story of the game is Nathan McKinnon clearly in the fact that Vegas is up 3 Cobb here. But to me, Carter Hart and the way he kept the team in the game towards the end of that first period. And then like, surprise, surprise, it's Mark Stone that kicks it off. Like I would always, I always try to make the point about the Detroit Red Wings back in the Babcock era that, when you have Pavel Datsyuk and Henrik Zetterberg up front, it's tough to lose a line matchup when your best offensive players are also your best defensive players. And look at Vegas. Jack Eichel, William Karlsson, Mitch Marner, Mark Stone. Like, how does how does Tortorella lose a line matchup here? I know it's a murderer's row on the Avalanche up front. I get that. But give me the team. And look at Florida. Florida's another great example of it. Give me the team that's stacked with the Selke guys. That's the team that I think wins the Stanley Cup. I'm most comfortable with saying this is a team that's going to win the Stanley Cup. Look at Barkov and Reinhart, for the Florida Panthers over the past couple of seasons. But Vegas has got 4 guys that you can look at and say they should always be in the conversation for the Selke. Give me that team all day long.
Yeah. Like I look at Colorado and obviously, like if you lose in 7, it's different than if you're down 3-0, right? It's optics for people. Like I think they got a pretty good team. Like I don't see them having to make major moves, but man, watching people talk about the Avs now, they got to get rid of their coach and they got to do this and that. And going to be kind of interested. Like there's also that rumbling about McFarland going to Nashville and role. Like, I don't know if there's any truth to that, but it's interesting.
The thing about that and that was Jonas Siegel from the Toronto Star that put that one out on the weekend. The rumor that's been going around is Nashville is waiting for one team to end their run until they name their front office staff, because one of the candidates that they're interested in, his team is still playing. Now, I'll be honest with you, I kind of took that and thought that might be Bergevin with the Buffalo Sabres. I'm like, that means they're going with Marc Bergevin. And that's why, like, I don't just shrug this one off at all. I kind of look at it and say, well, if the whispers about, the candidate that they want, his team is still involved, maybe there is something to it, but that was the first I had heard about it. And I haven't been able to get any deeper than just what Jonah put out. So I'm not saying, I'll give you the Doug McLean line. Doug would always say this to us whenever we'd be working together at Sportsnet. I'm not saying it's the truth. I'm just saying what I heard. So that's what I'm saying in this case, Griggs. What do you think about that one?
Well, it's interesting, on the outside side, I guess he gets more power, right? Because not right now he's got a guy above him, but there's to me there'd have to be a significant increase in money, right? Significant to want to leave a good situation to go there. Just like title's one thing, but and the reason why you could offer him. Now, it depends on what his contract states that, hey, if I get offered a bigger role, I can leave, right? Like there's lots of factors here. Like like why would Colorado allow that? I guess unless they just said, hey, you know what? That's just how it's going to be. Away we go. So we'll see. But I don't, I read it and I was like, okay. But then I'm like, geez, like something behind the scenes would have to be going on for him to want to leave, or just a significant increase in pay.
Don't disagree with any of that, but the one thing that I still have sort of nipping at the back of my skull here with this one is, if they had their guy already, what's the holdup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
like this is the longest running. And the thing about this GM search, because it's a new owner and Bill Haslam. So part of this search is for Bill to get to know the lay of the land around the NHL. So I understand, I get it. And when CAA was running it, as I understand it from talking to one of the candidates, it was going smooth, and it was going and churning, and it was great. So part of it is try to find the candidate, but two, also, I'm not saying it's like an education process for the owner, but for lack of a better term, it kind of was. Like they wanted to cast out a wide net. So this owner can see the different personalities and different ideas that are all out there. And I keep coming back to the same thing. If it's not someone whose team is still involved in the playoffs, what's the holdup?
Yeah. No, that's
maybe
fair.
there is something to it.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like the original one about Carolina, I was like, what? Who? I looked at that.
They did ask for Tulsky. They did ask. They did inquire. They did.
Yeah, no, for Tulsky, but yeah, Tulsky's not going anywhere. But there was rumors they thought it was their assistant GM, and I'm like, no, I don't think there was any truth.
Darren York, no, I think York was sort of in and out early, I believe, in this process. I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. I do know, having talked to some people that weren't interviewed, that none of them have been told that they're not getting the job yet. So some of the finalists. So that's interesting. So who knows where they're going on this one. What do you make
drafts coming up, by the way, Nashville?
Yeah. What do you
want to get someone in there
of the fact that there's they're hiring these firms now to do the searches for some teams?
I'm really glad you brought this up. So I think one of the things, there's someone, I'm trying to be sensitive about there's someone in hockey who for this is very much a front burner issue that I've been talking a lot with lately, who believes that one of the main things that the NHL and the Players Association need to do this offseason, like ASAP, is clean up the idea of who can represent who and what search firms do. Because I firmly believe this, and we're seeing this right now with Nashville. There's going to be and you're already starting to see it, ownership turnover in the NHL, right? We saw it with Utah. We saw it with Ottawa. We've seen it with Nashville. There's going to be a lot of new owners in the National Hockey League as different money is now starting to enter the system. And some older owners are looking to cash out and sell teams. And there's always, surprises along the way. And you find out, I didn't think that team was available. And lo and behold, they are. We're going through a process right now where the whole sport is changing, and that's at the ownership level as well. And I believe that these search firms can do a world of good for organizations if there are some guardrails to them. And the obvious issue is conflict of interest. Like if you're running a search and you also represent general managers, you can understand what that conflict of interest could be. Like there has to be a sort of standard set by the NHL and PA whereby if you represent players, you can't represent managers or coaches. If you represent managers or coaches, you can't be part of a search firm that is searching for coaches and for managers. I do think that this could be a bonanza for the league, especially for new owners. But there needs to be some walls around it and some guidelines. And I wonder if this offseason, the NHL and the Players Association get together and say, look, for the good of the game, we think these search firms are good and overall a positive thing, but there has to be some structure and standards around it. I think it's not a very big issue right now yet. It sort of ripples up every now and then, but I do think that, in the future here, it could be a bigger issue. So probably best that the NHL and Players Association get together on it.
Jeff Merrick joins us from the sheet. Jeff, where do you come out on the Edmonton Oilers and moving a player like Darnell Nurse?
First of all, it's a tough one. First of all, and second of all, he has to agree to it, as we all know. I've wondered, not reported, about a team like San Jose, who need defensemen and have an abundance of forwards. I've wondered if there is a fit there. And when I think about those two teams, like the name that again, not a report, just a wondering of, I keep coming back to the name Colin Graff. Because I'm having a hard time finding out where he's going to fit in that whole San Jose Sharks landscape. I don't think it's an easy move to make. I know it's an emotional one to make. That's a tough one for the room as well. And even though, Jason, as they say, yeah, Merrick, they don't flood the room, at the same time, you do want to have cohesion in your room there. And put it this way, if you're the Oilers right now, considering your gift has a doomsday clock attached to it by way of Connor's contract, I think everything is on the table. And I think emotions are have to be, no longer part of the conversation. The idea of like, I'll do anything to win on my terms, that on my terms has to be gone and everything has to be on the table.
Yeah. Like I look at Nurse and hey, there's parts of his game that are frustrating as anything. I think we can all outline what they are, some of his decisions with and without the puck. And, but then I look at what he does well, because you don't play in the NHL and you don't play like he's played the 15th most minutes amongst defensemen 5-on-5 the last 5 years. I got text, he doesn't hit anyone. So I quickly looked it up. Last 3 years in the NHL, Darnell Nurse's 15th most hits amongst defensemen in the NHL. The other thing is he doesn't get hurt. He plays. Availability is a massive thing. And so if the Oilers want to trade Darnell Nurse, I have no problem trading him. But if you're going to trade him, who are you going to replace him with? Because if you think it's going to be Wallman or Ekholm, there's a risk there because Ekholm's getting older. And Wallman, he always misses 15 to 20 games. Until he goes through a year without it, that's who he is. And there's value in a guy who shows up. Yeah, some games he's frustrating, but he still does more good than bad. And him and Connor Murphy were an excellent pair together. They were really good in the playoffs. So just re-sign Murphy and keep him with Nurse. Like, to me, that's – unless you can get a good hockey trade for Darnell Nurse, I'm not giving up on his – I'm not just trading him because I want to free up the money. Just spend on who? There's no free agents to spend it on.
Hey, you mentioned Murphy there a second ago. I was having a conversation with someone about the Oilers. It was last week about Murphy. And if the Oilers – let me float this one to you because you would know this. You're closer to it than I am. If they can't get a deal done with Murphy, how do you think the Oilers would fare with Michael Kesselring of the Buffalo Sabres? Because, again, that's someone where I'm looking at the Buffalo Sabres back end and saying, where's this? And he was a big piece of that Peterka deal, obviously. But where's that spot for him? I know injuries were an issue for Kesselring this year, but could that be a fit if they can't get a deal done with Murphy? Would that one make some sense for you?
I'm not sure he's a second pair D-man on a team that's a cup contender. He couldn't play regular in the lineup in Buffalo, so that'd be.
I'm saying like bottom pairing. I'm saying a bottom pairing guy.
Yeah, well, you could look at him then, sure, as a bottom pair guy. Like I think they like Ty Emberson, right? As their third pair guy. He's all right. He played in the playoffs. Kesselring didn't even get in the lineup every night in Buffalo. So, yeah, I'd have time for him, but I wouldn't. Like, I definitely not overpaying for Michael Kesselring. Like, I think, you look at Utah, they threw him in, and it almost was like Peterka for Doan. Well, geez, Peterka's more established soon, so we'll give you the other guy. And right now, it's looking like it's Doan for Peterka, which is still a win for Buffalo. But
that's a win for Buffalo. That's a win for me for Buffalo all day long. I think he's like one of the new age emerging power forwards in the NHL. And you love the production. You love the goals from JJ Peterka, not taking a thing away from that. But if you give me the choice between Doan and Peterka, I'm taking Doan all day long.
Yeah, no, that is, I totally agree with you on that one. One last one, Carolina, Montreal. It's down to a best of 5. Anything you've seen? What do you think after the first 2 games?
I think that the first game wasn't the Carolina Hurricanes, and even though I don't actually think that the second was perfectly the Carolina Hurricanes, I think it's a lot closer to the Carolina Hurricanes that we're going to see for the remainder of the series. I think this is scary for the Montreal Canadiens. I know they got the split that they needed and the split that they wanted. I against a team like Carolina, the youth on your team can show pretty quickly. And the one thing that we've seen so far out of Montreal at the Bell Center specifically, where they're 2-4, it's almost like they get overwhelmed by the moment there. It's a massive building. The fans are crazy. And for a guy like, Philip Deneau, no problem. Emotions in check. Josh Anderson, Brendan Gallagher, like these types of guys, even though Gallagher's been a scratch, these types of guys, emotions don't affect them. I am really beginning to wonder, because it's the only thing that I can grip with. I'm really beginning to wonder whether the younger kids on this team, whether it's Hudson, whether it's Caulfield, whether it's Demidov, get overwhelmed by the emotion. And I do think that what we will see tonight, we saw the beginnings of on Saturday, and it was punctuated by a beauty by Taylor Hall. I think Carolina comes out and just pounds Lane Hudson. They went out the door and around the block to run at him every chance they got on Saturday night. And tonight, Griggs, it's probably going to be part 2, as it should be. This is the playoffs. Every hit is for keeps. And I think that's just going to continue tonight. And I think you're going to see probably as Carolina now starts to really get their legs back after that long layoff, you're going to really see another gear to the Carolina Hurricanes. Would you agree with that?
I think so. The thing about Montreal is, I know everyone's like, oh God, they didn't get any shots. Well, they had almost the same amount of slot shots, right? It's 8-7. Yeah. They're not a waste shot team, right? And Carolina, they don't give you a ton of quantity, but they will give up quality. And Montreal's got to bury, like we saw it in game 1. All their goals were high danger chance, man. The goalie had no chance on really any of them. So that's the
risk, right? Like when you play man-to-man, that's the risk, because when you lose coverage, man, does open ice appear and lanes right to the net. Like that's why it's like so dicey playing the way that they have great athletes and really smart players, so they can get away with it. Like that's what you insist upon if you're going to be a Carolina Hurricane. But when it breaks down, to your point, no such thing as a chance. It's a high danger chance almost every time when it breaks down. It's a great point.
Yeah. Jeff, as always, buddy, appreciate your time.
Thanks, bud.
Enjoy the hockey. Enjoy the concerts.
Thanks,
we'll talk again soon.
Enjoy Gene Simmons. Talks.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's Jeff Merrick from The Sheet, also co-host with me on the DFO Rundown. We dropped an episode early this morning. You can check it out. 246. When we come back, we're going to give you a little update on our kids' sport. We got a lot of donors coming in. We've had a really good first hour. We want to keep it up. We got to get to our goal, 112. So 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. You can text in. It's $25 a month to give the kid the opportunity to get into sports and can be life-changing. And we'll let you hear from a parent whose kids been through it next on the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Scott McGilvery here, HGTV host and renovation expert. The one upgrade I know homeowners will love: better, fresher Culligan water straight from the tap. Culligan's Aquasential reverse osmosis filtration system takes your water to the next level. With up to 7 stages of filtration and 14 filter options, they're certified to reduce over 90 contaminants. Your tap water is about to get a major upgrade. Safer water that tastes great. Get started with a free in-home water test at Culligan.com. Culligan, water you love.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean. find us at hughescarwash.com.
You got a go-to coffee spot, a trusted barber, even a lucky game day jersey. But when it's about looking your absolute best, there's only one name you need. Mr. Dirk. Family run since 1939, we're experts in crafting impeccable tailor-made suits and offering a wide variety of everyday styles. Pair that with personalized one-on-one fittings and the convenience of on-site tailoring. Mr. Dirk elevates your style game. Visit our Edmonton store or explore MrDirk.com. Score big on style with Mr. Dirk.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And directional drilling, hydrovacing, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shaq-updated memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Ride for Dad is back. Join Sports 1440 as we help raise funds and awareness for the fight against prostate cancer. The ride starts Saturday, June 13th at Blackjack's Roadhouse. Register online at ridefordad.ca and find more info at sports1440.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork. We offer sale, rental, repair, and calibration of hydraulic, pneumatic, and battery-powered torque wrenches, stud tensioners, and flange maintenance equipment. Order today at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Welcome back, Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Donovan Paulson running things online. So give him a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button at your YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Very much would appreciate it. I hope you're having a lovely day. We've had a really good start, man. I got to catch up, but man, I'm doing the numbers. We're over 50 already. So big thanks to Tyler, Robert, Harry, Dave, Glenn and Brenda, who did 2 kids, Chris, Michael, Brad P, Noel P, Julia P, Jason P, Eric, Kelly, Mike, David. I think that's where we're at least ones I got confirmed. So thank you so much, everybody who has donated, and we'll keep it going. Of course, it's Gregor's Giving Gang today. We're going to help kids get in the game for kids sport. It's $25 a month. Or you can do a one-time payment of $300. That's for one kid. If you want to do 2, then it just doubles, $50 a month or up to $600, and away you go. So all you can do is text in your name, and if you want to donate to a kid, and then we'll get you in touch with Kid Sport. So 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. We want to get to, our goal is to get to 112 today. So we've had a really good first. We're already over 50, so that's awesome. So let's keep it coming. Now, we're going to go in the community, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, home of the no payments, no interest for 1 year on your AC unit. Stay cool all summer at legacyheating.ca. And to kind of give you an insight on what it is and what a difference it makes for kids sport, we have Kara Remick joining us. She's a kids sport parent and has been a benefactor of seeing her kids get into sport courtesy of kids sport. Kara, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks, Jason.
Now, is it Kara or Kara? I just want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Oh, Kara.
Kara. Okay, good. Good. Just wanted to double check. So can you walk us through our listeners and kind of explain, the situation and how much of an impact kids sport has been for your family?
Yeah, sure. No, thanks for having me. I am so happy to share my story because kids sport has made such an impact in my life, my kids' lives. I'm a mom of 4 kids. Ever since the kids were little, we just didn't have the means to get involved in all the activities that a lot of kids have been able to. And then I became a single parent. Single parent of 4 kids, looking around the neighborhood and seeing all the advantages that other kids have. And there's so many things that I've had to compromise on because I just haven't had the means to provide, travel, eating out, whatever. And when it came down to kids sports and seeing what everybody else was involved in, I really had a sense of disappointment, I think. And then somebody let me know about kids sport. And honestly, as humbling as it is to say that the situation that we're in is not ideal, kids sport made it so easy to get my kids involved in a way that I just would not have been able to otherwise. So my kids have been involved in indoor and outdoor soccer, swimming lessons, figure skating, hockey and lacrosse, fencing, pole vaulting, all of these things with the support of kids sport. Like I said, I ended up as a single mom, and then I ended up in cancer treatment, and I emerged from that into COVID. Any one of those is a huge impact to a family, but the sport that my kids were involved in was continuity through all of those situations. The sporting just gave my kids experiences I could just never have provided as a parent, and kids sport made it super easy to get those kids involved. It's something that I've encouraged a lot of people in situations that they couldn't provide economically to be involved, and it really is simple. It's straightforward. They're super happy to help, and one of the other things, Jason, is that kids sport connects and partners with Sports Central, which means that not just the sport is available to the kids, but the equipment that they need, like hockey equipment for kid, is almost as hard as the hockey registration. But because they have this great partnership, it just makes those things so much more accessible. I guess I can share a story about how much of an impact it makes on my kids. Like, I think as a parent, you really want to see your kids challenged and grow through those challenges, persevere. They learn all about, defeat and success. And there's so many things. My oldest is 20, and he's just a lifelong athlete as a result of the experiences he's had because of the sport. But there's one story that really stands out to me. It's when my youngest son first started hockey. He was so excited to try out hockey, and like I said, I had been trepidatious about enrolling him because of the commitment, because of the financial commitment. Kids sport was amazing and provided, like I said, the registration, and then Sports Central provided the gear, and So here he was ready to go on the ice. We got him all geared up and everything. And he just played his guts out on the ice. Like, he tried so hard. It was a sport he hadn't had a lot of experience with. And he was playing so hard, and he just loved it. He came off the ice. I remember him, a little guy, hauling all that gear out to the car. And we get the gear in the car. He couldn't even talk. He was like red in the face. He was totally sweating. And he flops back in his seat, and he just says to me, "Oh, Mom, I just love hockey." And these experiences are just things that I could never have provided. And so kids sport has really made all the difference for my family. And I know it makes a difference to other families throughout Edmonton. So I'm super happy to share these stories and share what it's meant for me.
Well, that's awesome. And I can, like, for a lot of people who have played sports, it's just feeling part of the team is something that it's hard to really put into words, I think, for a lot. Because, you know, if you grow up and your parents were lucky enough to put you in a sport right away, you really didn't know any different. But for kids who kind of had to watch everybody else do it, and then finally to be part of that team had to be a huge thrill. Like, it's not so much about how well they do. It's just about the fact that they get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, you bet. And it draws out different things from your kids too, and things I would never have anticipated, you know, and the first goal, or the first, I don't know, the first time they were able to take a puck all the way down the ice, or the first time they were able to score a goal in soccer, like the sense of achievement, just to see that they've mastered a skill that they would never have done otherwise is, as a parent, it really sends chills up your spine that these kids have been able to do something that they hadn't been able to do before. And then you get the team element around, and they make lifelong friends. It really isn't something that you can recreate as a parent. It's something that these kids just have to experience.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, they sports just teaches you perseverance, a little grit, how to win, how to lose, how to be a good teammate, kind of how to fit in sometimes, and how to try something even if you're not good at it the first time.
Yeah, you bet. And like I said, it's super humbling to be in a situation when you find yourself unable to manage financially and feel that impact in so many different ways in your life and in the life of your kids. And it's such a gift to be able to give these kids those experiences and say yes to them, you know, and in a time when I say no a lot of times, just given where we're at, I've been so happy and so grateful that I've been able to say yes. In just my daughter wanted to try fencing, and I'm like, okay, why not? Like, let's try it. And the skills that she was able to develop with that, and you know, an entire childhood and teenagehood playing hockey and developing those skills, and all the way through. It's not like a one and done experience with Sports Central, like with Kids Sport. Sorry, it's all the way through. Like, it's not just one time. It's really being supportive of the kids throughout their childhood, which has been really meaningful.
Well, that's awesome, Kara. Thanks so much for sharing your story. I think we've got, we're up to, if my math is correct, about 57 kids so far today that we've got covered. So we're about halfway through, which is a great first hour. So hopefully we'll get to our goal today. And glad that your kids got to experience kids sport and experience the wonders of sport.
Well, thanks again. And I just want to say to your listeners that this is such a great organization to donate to. I've been a part of, or I've been involved obviously as a recipient, but I've had a chance to give back and meet some of the people involved in the organization. They really are a great, worthwhile organization. And so I really encourage people to consider how much of an impact this makes on kids in Edmonton. And also, too, for those people listening who may feel like they're at a place where they might not be able to give the opportunity to their kids in sports, just to know that it's a super straightforward and simple process, and kids sport really is amazing and makes it so easy to help these kids. So, yeah, I hope things go really well. I hope you are able to get a lot of kids supported through this.
Awesome. Thanks so much and have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. So it's always good to kind of get an insight on the difference where it's $25 a month. Okay. And we're up Mike and Xavier and Ryan and Kara did 4. Jordan did 4. Don, Jonathan, Sean, Sheldon, Troy, Michael P, Michael H, Jeff S, and Bastian, Alex also are in. So thank you so much. Keep them coming. 833-401-1440. You just text in. It's $25 for one kid at $25 a month, or you can do a one-time payment of $300. Obviously, you'll get a tax receipt. Either way, if you want to do more, that's unreal. But well, our goal today is to get to 112. So we've had a really good first hour. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Let's get some up for Karen and her kids and anybody else out there. You feel like, you know what? Hey, I can afford $25 to just give a kid the opportunity to play a game, get involved in the sport. And hey, fencing. Who would have thought fencing? So good for her. Take a quick break. Let's get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Go Auto. They got a lot of vehicles, and hey, speaking of giving, they give back a ton. Over $27 million they've donated back to various charities or in the communities where they work. That's goauto.ca.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final goes tonight from Montreal, Canadiens and Canes. Puck drop just after 6 o'clock, currently tied to the game apiece. The World Championships earlier today, the United States over Hungary 7-3. Norway drops Czechia 4-1. With Germany over Great Britain 6-3, and Italy falls to Slovenia 5-1. Canada back in action tomorrow, just afternoon, taking on Czechia. The Memorial Cup, 6 o'clock, Rangers and Silver Tips. In the association, you've got Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Cavs and the Knicks. New York can complete the sweep with a victory tip-off at 6. And in the majors, Blue Jays and Marlins tonight from Toronto. First pitch just after 5. We'll join that game in progress. Trey Savage gets the call for the Jays. Flagro Jr. will not play after taking fall to the elbow yesterday. Some finals for you. Pirates over the Cubbies 2-1. The Twins fall to the White Sox 3-1. And it was the Brewers over the Cards 5-1. Coming up in hour 2 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Hurricanes analyst Shane Willis and One Soccer's Oliver Platt. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Hey, hon, I'm getting expressions and images to frame my hockey card collection in the man cave.
Perfect. I'll come with you and bring our wedding photos.
For sports memorabilia and family treasures, think Expressions and Images, your local custom framer since 91. You name it, we frame it.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1, saving you money with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2, water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3, saving you more money with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4
Day
things.
afternoon.
Oh, well.
How are you?
Restrictions
And
apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton
Connor Halley,
Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
May brings more of what you're looking for at Wolf GMC Buick. The selection never better. The savings up to $12,000 when you combine cash discounts on your new 2026 Sierra 1500 pickup. Up to $1,750 in cash rebates on remaining 2025 Terrain SUVs.
Plus, 0% financing, up to 72 months on most models. And ask about the truck trade-in bonus of up to $1,500 on select new in-stock Sierra 1500s.
Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Everybody loves a beautiful day in Edmonton. Hey, it's Jamie, and Green Drop Lawn Care is giving you one more reason to love the nice weather. Next Nice Day service. People always ask, how soon can Green Drop get here? Well, when you sign up with Next Nice Day service, we'll be there by tomorrow. Assuming Mother Nature cooperates, we'll be fertilizing and treating your weeds by the very next day. We'll even include Drought Fighter at no additional cost. Just another reason we have been Canada's lawn expert since 1979. Easy online signups only at greendrop.com.
I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. The goal of every one of the thousands of hair restoration procedures I've performed is a full, natural-looking head of hair. I work directly with my patients for the consultation, the procedure, and the follow-up, so we can achieve the best results possible. When people see what we accomplish, I don't want them to think, wow, great hair transplant. I want them to think,
wow, great hair.
Go to drvanceelliott.com and contact us today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Japa Machinery. Need equipment on the job fast? Japa Equipment Rentals in Edmonton has you covered. Excavators, wheel loaders, compaction equipment, and more backed by expert service. Visit japamachinery.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Service Master Clean of Edmonton Specialty Cleaning. They're in for 4 kids. Love it. So there you go. Also, we got what else we got? We got Matt in at 1, as well as Sri is in at 1. So by my math now, because I'd missed some, we're up to 67. All right, so that's good. But we still got about 50 to go. So it's a good first hour. We're looking for 1, 2, 3. Any business owners out there looking for kids to get in the game? Your way to help out. It's $25 a month. You're not going to miss it. It's going to come right off your Visa, or you can do a one-time payment. You get tax receipt either way. So if we want to help out kids get into sport, make some better citizens, they feel better, they got a better chance to contribute later on. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe there's like some Alfonso Davies out there that just needs the opportunity. So let's do it. This hour, let's try to get, if I got to go just on pace, if we can get 17 an hour the rest of the way, we'll get there. Okay, how about that? So let's try to get 17 this hour. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Or you can just email me, Gregor at sports1440.ca. It's the Gregor Show, as always, presented by PlayAlberta.ca. I remember, tomorrow night, Lotto Max. Get your tickets, PlayAlberta.ca. And 15 mil plus 15 prizes of $100,000. Nothing to scoff at. If you walk away with the cool 6 figures, would be pretty darn good, I would think. 833-401-1440. We got a lot of text flying in. 833-401-1440. Hey, guys. My problem with Nurse is he's not the type of defenseman he's supposed to be. He's big, strong, stands beside his friend in front of the net, watches him score, looks to the sky. Then he has to have the nerve to have the attitude in the press conference from Kevin. Hey, like I said, Darnell Nurse, there are some parts of his game that I can understand why people are frustrated with. And if you feel like change of scenery is due, I agree with all of that. I just don't agree with just, you know what, the Oilers got to throw in something. Just get rid of him. No, that's where I will push back. He played the most minutes of any Oilers D-man 5-on-5 in the playoffs. 7 goals for, 3 goals against. Right? When him and Connor Murphy as a pair, they're solid together. So now, if you can find a D-man who you think can be as good as Nurse or close, then yes, for all means, trade him. Now, he has to agree to it, of course. But sure, you can look at it. But where are you going to find this D-man? Because if I look at free agents, defensemen, you got Mario Ferraro in San Jose. He can play 21 minutes on a non-playoff team. Is he a guy that can be a 20-minute plus night a guy in Edmonton? Maybe. Competes hard. He's very vocal, right? So if you're worried about, hey, you lose some of the leadership, a guy who's up-tempo, well, Ferraro brings that, right? Now there's Brett Kulak. And, hey, Brett Kulak, really good player. I think Kulak, you know what? In Edmonton, we all know that playoff Kulak's a little bit different than regular season Kulak. There's no question about it. Solid player. And you know what? He's pretty damn healthy. Now, he's older than Nurse. So if you're doing it, you're probably doing it for 2 years. Okay. He's not going to cost you nearly as much. Totally valid. So if you have that type of say, okay, I'm going to acquire Kulak as free agent, which no one can guarantee that. Right? Colorado's probably going to try to re-sign him themselves first. But if he gets to free agency, now he walked to free agency, remember, a few years ago, and he went in, the market opened, took a few calls, decided, you know what, I'm staying in Edmonton. Maybe he does the same thing. Checks what's out there. We all know that, his family's from Stony Plain, loves it here. But if you're Brett Kulak, you're like, yeah, well, these guys traded me. Do I really want to come back? That I can't answer. Right? I haven't talked to Brett about it. But I can see how some are like, well, you know what? Hey, now maybe you don't take it personal. It's just like business is business. Fine. I had a good year. Went to Pittsburgh, then went to Colorado and went to conference finals. Fun. So maybe he'd be like, yeah, I don't care. I'd come back to Edmonton. It's nothing personal. It's business. But what if you don't get him? Now there's Jamie Alexiak. Big, strong guy, but he plays on a Seattle team. He didn't play 20 minutes tonight. He didn't even play 18. He played 16:58 this year. So big. Could he be a second pair guy? Yeah, maybe. Possibly he could. He's got the big frame. He can play. Right? He can last. So, there's a possibility there, yes. So that's one where I'm like, okay, I'd consider it as a legit option. Gregor, what about Parayko out of St. Louis? Well, he's a right shot defenseman. So, if you're getting Parayko, then you're probably not bringing back Connor Murphy. Okay. So you bring in Parayko, but I don't know if like St. Louis, are they trading Parayko for Nurse? Why are they doing that? Like, if we're being honest, why would St. Louis do that? Costs him more. He's a lefty-righty. They got some lefties. But St. Louis is an interesting team to look for. Like, maybe there's another trade in there. Maybe it's a bigger one. We've heard all the rumblings. There's Binnington. There's Parayko. Now, you can't take all of them, of course. Salary cap. I get all that. I just, like a Parayko for Nurse, then you're adding in more if you're Edmonton for sure. Not a lot more, but you're adding some because he makes almost $3 million more. That's why. Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe you need a coach who's like Darnell. Like, tap into the mean streak that he used to have that he doesn't play with anymore. Now, why is that? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. Because when you ask him, he doesn't ever give me an answer. And again, like I totally understand the net front frustration when you watch him and some of his positioning and decision. You're kind of like, what? Or like, nothing irritates me more when he leaves the guy open his stick to deflect the puck and he just cross checks him in the low back. Not even that hard. Like, you're not even moving the guy. What are you doing? So I can understand those frustrations. And you know what? Maybe that'll never change. So that's why you might want to trade him. I can understand all that. Totally okay if people want to trade Nurse. It's just you cannot have a trade that sets you back again. Can't do it. Right? Like the Jari trade to date has not worked out. We can all agree with that. Hasn't worked out. Now, maybe it can moving forward, but Jari's going to have to play way better. And even then, you had Stuart Skinner 2.6, and you had Brett Kulak, and you had a second rounder, and you gave all of them up for Jari. You can't do that in another trade. Everybody's going to lose a trade. You win some, Podkolzin, lose some, right? Like, if you don't get, Doc obviously is an RFA, so he's staying, no problem. But you got to re-sign one of Dickinson or Murphy. Otherwise, those trades don't look great for the asset you gave up for basically 26 games. Right? Not going to happen. Gregor, you won't win a nurse trade. Who said anything about winning? It's only you, Brian, and others who are infatuated with winning. I don't need to win a trade. I need to make a trade that helps the team. There can be trades that work well for both teams. No one wins. It just works out well for both teams. It doesn't have to be, I can only make a trade if I win it, right? And the thing about winning trades is that fluctuates and changes too from year to year. One year, the guy you acquired could be better than the guy you gave up. And then the next year is role reversal. You just don't want to blatantly lose the trade where you look back and say, man, we didn't get anything and they got a really good player. That's why you can't just give Nurse away. And saying that you have to add to it, sorry, I don't buy it. Remember, people thought Seth Jones was junk. Seth Jones, brutal, terrible. Oh, yeah? What happened? Pretty good in Florida. And look who they got for Seth Jones. Yeah, Florida retained $2 million, and they got Spencer Knight, a starting goalie. Young player, pretty good player. So, lots of people thought Jones didn't have much value at that time. Was struggling in Chicago. Was on a bad team. Right? Nurse has some positives. He has some warts too. Definitely has some positives. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. Remember, okay, we got to get this up a little bit. We've had a great start. We've stalled here the last segment. So we're looking to help out kids sport today. It's $25 a day. Or sorry, not a day. $25 a month or $300 a year. One-time payment. Either way, you'll get a tax receipt, courtesy of Kids Sport. And most importantly, you're going to get a kid in the game. It's part of the Gregor's Giving Gang. And we update you throughout the year as to just kind of, some little stories of what's happened, just so you kind of know where that $25 a month is going. Trust me, for most of you, $25, you're not even going to notice it. You can look at your bank statement and Visa statement and be like, you know what? Hey, I'm helping someone out. And it'll make you feel good. Every month. It's pretty easy. So we want to get 17 this hour, because if we can get 17 each hour to the rest of the show, we'll reach our goal. So 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Or you can email us, Gregor at sports1440.ca. We'll take a quick break. We'll return. Monday edition of the Gregor Show, presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Everything is going to be okay. Any business, regardless of size, can stumble occasionally. I'm Dan McDicken, a licensed insolvency trustee with Faber. If your business is facing financial challenges, our team of chartered insolvency and restructuring professionals have corporate debt recovery solutions that work. Schedule your free Faber Focus session at faber.ca today. Chances of a positive outcome increase if you engage Faber sooner rather than later.
I've got some good news if you've been thinking about a heavy-duty truck. The 2026 Ram 2500 Black Express is now at St. Albert Dodge. You've got 20-inch black aluminum wheels, black Mopar side steps, body color, bumpers and grille, and a Sport Performance hood. Available in all the colors for $68,990. Plus, new this year, Ram's best-in-class 10-year powertrain warranty. Now's the time. Head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
When thirst strikes and your energy begins to fade, one hero rises above the rest. Introducing the Superpower Smoothie from Booster Juice. A bright sun-charged burst of mangoes, bananas, and blue spirulina. an out-of-this-world smoothie, just in time for the new Supergirl movie. Discover your power and channel your inner superhero. Fly into your local Booster Juice and experience it for yourself today. And see Supergirl, only in theaters June 26th.
What's that? Is that actually spring? Like no snow squalls or bad weather tomorrow? It's actually spring? Well, GS Construction welcomes the warmer weather because that means we can really get to work. Now, it doesn't matter if there was bad weather. This is our time to shine. But we can't do it without good people to do that work. That's why GS Construction is hiring pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. If you want to join a team who loves their work, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
There's still time to book your tournament at the Ranch Golf and Country Club.
As one of Alberta's top tourney courses, the Ranch makes hosting fun and easy for any group or business. No matter how unique or unusual, they'll accommodate your vision for an event no one will soon forget.
Start planning your tournament today at their beautifully landscaped course on the outskirts of West Edmonton. On-site event coordinators are here to help, but hurry, availability is limited and booking fast.
Visit theranchgolf.com.
Ready to upgrade your ride this spring? Come on down to the Golf Cart People. They're a family-owned and operated business that's been serving the community since '97. Whether you're looking for a brand new or quality pre-owned cart, a rental for a special event, they do that too. The Golf Cart People have a huge selection of parts and accessories, and their expert service team is here to keep you rolling. The Golf Cart People, your one-stop shop for everything golf cart. Visit golfcartpeople.com.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sherbrooke Liquor, the best place for wine, cocktails, and beers from all over the world. Also, a variety of excellent non-alcoholic options. See more at SherbrookeLiquor.com.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca.
$326. Welcome back, Jason Gregor. Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca. So we want to get 17 this hour. So we just got Dave J came in at 1. Cam Tater. He's sponsoring 4 kids. 4 kids for the Tate man. Unreal. All right. So a few of you can match it. 1, 2, 3, 4. $25 a month for 1. $50 a month for 2. Obviously $100 a month for 4. Text in 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're helping out the kids sport today with Gregor's Giving Gang. You'll get an update. We'll kind of tell you, you'll get to see where your money's going. And most importantly, you'll know that it made a massive difference. We heard from Kara talking about just the difference it made for her kids to get involved in kids sport. Just give them an identity and, more importantly, an opportunity and something that maybe we overlook sometimes if you've always had the opportunity to play sports, just feeling like you fit in. And that can be monumental. So here's your opportunity to just pay it forward, help someone else out. So $25 a month. You're not even gonna notice it. For a lot of you, if you're lucky enough, $25 a month, you'll be like, oh, it's on my Visa bill. Great. I know where it's going. Fantastic. So if you want to help out, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We have a goal to get to 112. So I'd like to break it down quicker. If we get 17 each hour for the final 3 hours of the show, We'll get there. We already got 5 this hour. So we need 12 more this hour. 833-401-1440. Now let's talk a little hockey as we go around the NHL. Brought to you by McDonald's. And stop in at McD's. It's a hot day out today, plus 26 degrees. The newest drink drop is coming in ice cold, from creamy crafted sodas to sparkling, juicy refreshers. Explore the entire lineup of new flavors, now pouring only at McDonald's. Former NHLer, ace analyst for the Carolina Hurricanes, Shane Willis joins us now. Shane, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm good, Jason. How are you doing today? Sounds like a hot one in Alberta.
Oh, it's nice, man. Finally, we need it. We need it.
The Hurricanes are up there. They left us in rain down here in North Carolina, but it'll heat up next week, I'm sure.
So you look at the Hurricanes, and maybe it was a little bit of the layoff in game one. The one thing, though, and it's an odd stat that Kevin Woodley showed me, was the Hurricanes gave up the most breakaways in the NHL this year. It's the one area that, hey, every team has a little weakness. Even the best teams have a little weakness. And I thought Montreal found a way to exploit that in game one. Not so much in game two. Carolina buckled down. So, I'm assuming for a guy you watch that team all year long, like game two seemed to be probably a closer facsimile of what to expect. But it was still overtime. Like, this looks like a really tight series.
Yeah, without a doubt. You knew Montreal was going to push, and they have a pace to be able to skate with the Hurricanes. And you mentioned the breakaways, and the system that Rod Brind'Amour has instilled is a very aggressive system. And I thought in game one, everyone looked more at the rust side of things. It was rusty, not physically, but mentally. And it was the decisions they were making, the times they were making them to go and be aggressive, where that secondary coverage wasn't there. And when the Hurricanes give up breakaways, that's what you see. The defensemen are going to be aggressive, especially in the neutral zone. But if they're not looking to see if the forward is over top of the Montreal players, all it is a chip to a guy who's wide open, and it's going to be a breakaway, which we saw in game one. Now, in the flip in game two, the decision-making and the positioning of the forwards being in the right spot nullified really any odd man races that Montreal had. But a mistake in the third period when you're up 2-1. Andrei Svechnikov gets caught a little bit deep where the other two forwards are already below the goal line. Now Montreal has a 3-on-2, and their offense will make you pay. If you're going to give up odd man rushes to the Canadians, they're going to find a way to put it in the back of the net. They did late in the third to tie that game. The Hurricanes very fortunate in overtime to continue to stick with their structure. Transition game and speed was there to win that and tie the series up at 1.
Well, the one thing they continue doing is winning overtime. That's 4 in a row this year, 6 in a row dating back to last season. Any idea why they're so good in OT?
Well, I'm going to go back to something I'm sure I talked to you guys about last time I was on, and it is experience, right? This is year 8 of this run that the Hurricanes have continued to move up in the playoffs, be in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Florida Panthers. And I really feel that composure and experience matters when you get to overtime in these situations when everything's on the line. Now, the other big factor, look at what the Hurricanes did last summer. They went out and got the best available player, Nikolai Ehlers, and he comes through in the clutch last game to score not only the second goal of the game, but the game winner in overtime. General Manager Eric Tulsky was smiling bright after that game because of the goal Ehlers scored. But I really think it's the experience that this group has gone through over the past 7 years that allows them to be very comfortable in the highest stress situation overtime in the playoffs.
You look at now they're on the road. Jordan Staal in game 2 did a fantastic job of really stifling the top line of the Montreal Canadiens. Now, you know what? Some teams aren't hard matching that much anymore, Shane. It's not like some teams try to do it, like Tampa Bay obviously tried to do it against Montreal to the point they literally, like, every faceoff they're going to wait, put somebody else out there. I don't know if Rod Brind'Amour is going to do that, but what you're expecting, like, is it going to be like a 50-50 split? Maybe he gets to 60 or 70% of Staal against Suzuki?
Well, both coaches have come out and said they're not going to chase the matchups, but I think where Rod is going to lean even more on not necessarily the Staal line, but you got to look at the defensive pair of Chatfield and Slavin and what they did in the last game against that line. So composed, so structured. I think that is more of what Marty St. Louis is going to watch to try and get Caulfield away from the Slavin-Chatfield pairing. I don't think he's going to mind the Staal line, forwards on forwards, but I think both guys are going to be looking at defensive pair. Who can they get out there? But I agree with you as a player. the matchup off and on the ice drives you nuts. You can't get into the flow of the game. And I think both coaches know the flow and getting all 4 lines involved is more important than potentially those strong matchups early on in this game. I think that's an advantage of the Hurricanes. When you look down the game sheet of time on ice, the balance Rod Brind'Amour has compared to what Marty St. Louis has in Montreal, as this series continues to go on, is a big advantage for Rod Brind'Amour and the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I would think so. Shane Willis joins us. You look at the Canes, and the Hall line really carried them in the first 2 rounds. It's only 2 games in. Still being physical. Montreal fans are all upset about the hit on Lane Hudson, but it's pretty clear that Carolina, as they should, has said every chance we get, let's try to finish our check on Lane Hudson.
You have to. He's such a dynamic defenseman, the way he skates, the way he can create offense. If you're not going to finish your check, especially up the ice on the forecheck, as Taylor Hall did in that situation, he's going to make you pay. He's going to sneak up the ice. He's going to find those openings. And everyone knows in the playoffs, I mean, it goes for the same as Vegas. McCarr's back in the lineup last night. They finished him every chance they could in any position of the ice. And for a player like Lane Hudson, the Hurricanes know you have to be physical every single chance you get in those places. And, they were able to do that in game 2 better than in game 1. But if Lane Hudson gets dancing up around the ice and he's in the offensive zone, that's where things are going to get a lot more chaotic. So finishing your check up the ice in the offensive zone of your own is a big piece of that. I expect him to do the same again tonight.
Jesperi Kotkaniemi, is there any chance this guy gets in, Shane? And what do you think the future holds for him if he doesn't get in this playoffs?
Yeah, a tough situation for Jesperi because obviously everyone knows when the Hurricanes got him, he was going to come in and be the touted, gradual number 2 centerman for this team. And over the past couple of years, it's just been a little inconsistent for Jesperi of where he's been able to get things really rolling in this system in those type of situations. Now you have to look at it as Stankoven's kind of taken that position. Where does Jesperi fit into this team? And if it's a piece, maybe, this summer, do they look to move him? Is there a team? And I always look at it because Jesperi puts the work in. He comes into that room every day. He has a smile on his face and he gets the work done. I always look at these situations. Maybe if Jesperi went to another team in a situation very similar to where Taylor Hall is now and how well he is excelling, that maybe there's a piece the Hurricanes could get back where it's a win-win on both sides. And, you hope Jesperi gets kind of his career rolling in the right directions. It's just kind of been ups and downs for him throughout here in Carolina. I would assume, depending on the position, if someone was to go down, it would be Jesperi that gets in the lineup because of his size, his physicality, and the speed against Montreal compared to a Nick Delorier. So, as the playoffs go on, we know things can happen, and the unsung heroes always come into play at some point. And Jesperi's working very hard that if he does get tapped, he's going to be ready to go for this team because he has that offensive ability and can fit in really anywhere in your lineup. He's played a little bit of wing this year too, so it doesn't have to be a center position. I think it's a weapon that Rod Brind'Amour has at his fingertips that if something was to happen up front to the Hurricanes, that Jesperi could jump into this lineup.
Shane, you look at the goaltending situation, and Freddie Anderson, hey, he got some rest in between each series and has been very good, hasn't missed a game. And, injury, that's always been the issue a little bit with Freddie Anderson. He hasn't been overtaxed yet at all in these playoffs. Do you think, though, if they go deeper, is there any thought process at all that they give him a night off, or do you think it's they're going to run with him right till the end?
No, I think when you get to this point, I think you're running with the guy you've had. I think it'd be very difficult to go to, Kochetkov or, in those positions of making.
Oh, I think we lost Shane, man. So we'll try to reconnect with him. See what happens there. He's going to have a great answer too. I heard it coming. It's going to be a great answer, but there you go. Just copped out in Carolina. Maybe a storm. There's a few storms happening in Carolina, but at this point it's probably too late to go to another goaltender. But what about the offseason in Carolina? So you got Bussy, you got Kochetkov. And then you got Freddie Anderson, who's going to be 37 in the offseason. So what do you think they're going to do? It's kind of what I was going to ask about. Not just here, but they've got a fascinating summer to do. There's lots of teams Like if you're looking for goalies, and now Shane's back with us. So Shane, you wouldn't go to him now, but what about the summertime? Right? Like he's 37. You got Kochetkov, and you got Brandon Busty. Like that's a tough decision for the Carolina Hurricanes and what they're going to do. Like I guess they could carry 3 goalies. I'm just not. I'm not sold that that's what they'll do. I don't think you can hear me. So that's unfortunate. So, hey, I could see him. He couldn't hear us. It's too bad. I am curious to see what comes up. Because you look at Buffalo, Devin Levi, not to mention, they got Lion, they got UPL. Like there are some teams that have goalies. And now outside of Edmonton, a lot of the time, you don't have to give up a ton to get these goalies. And that's why this goes back to me for the summer of Stan Bowman. When you're talking a Darnell Nurse trade, you cannot give him away because you basically gave away Stu Skinner and Kulak, that package for Jari. Now, maybe Jari bounces back next year. We've seen goalies do it. And if he does, okay. But for year 1, they lost the trade. Now, maybe they win the trade in year 2. It's beneficial to them. But the first year of the deal did not go well. It just didn't. So we'll have to see. Take a quick break. We'll return on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance. When you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
The sun's out, the pavement's warm, and that low rumble of a Harley rolling by? Oh yeah, that's calling your name. This is riding season, and if you've been thinking about a new ride, Harley-Davidson of Edmonton has the one that'll get your heart pumping. With a huge selection of new and pre-owned bikes, there's one waiting for you. Whether you're upgrading or just getting started. And while you're there, ask about test rides, because the only way to know is to ride it. For more details, visit Harley-Davidson of Edmonton on the Yellowhead Trail, locally owned and operated since 1980, or at hdedmonton.com.
The Edmonton Riverhawks return Friday. Join the best party in the River Valley with 27 theme nights like Paws in the Park, Star Wars, and Margaritaville. Don't miss opening weekend. Tickets start at $21 at tickets@gohawks.ca.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the 2 best names in the boots business.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's
That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
Summer is calling. Is your vehicle ready for the road trip? Get ready for the season at Nisku Ford with offers that turn up the heat. Right now, you choose how you save. Finance your new vehicle with rates as low as 0%. Or choose massive cash rebates as high as $12,500. Whether you're hauling the boat or packing up the family, we have the Ford you need for your summer adventures. Start your summer upgrade at niskuford.ca. Nisku Ford, above expectations.
Your all-access pass to the world of sports is Edmonton's only sports radio station.
From pre- and post-game hockey shows to in-depth analysis from your favorite commentators, the action never stops on Sports 1440.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Papa John's. Get the puck drop special at Papa John's, a large 2-topping pizza and 8-piece wings for only $28.99 with promo code PUCKDROP at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.345, Gregor, Halley, Paulson here with Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Andrea came in sponsoring another kid, which is awesome. So let's keep it rolling. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. It's Gregor's Gaming Gang. We're helping out Kids Sport today. Lots of kids who just have the opportunity to play something that you love doing your whole life. Maybe, or multiple times in your life. Maybe your kids get to do it. You get to play sports. It's a wonderful thing for kids. Builds confidence, builds some character, a little bit of grit, learn how to win, learn how to lose, and much more. It's $25 a month. So our goal was to get to 112. So we're getting there close, slowly but surely, but we got a ways to go. So we're looking for what we need about, if my math is correct here, we need about 44 more. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440 if you want to help out. It's $25 a month. It's pretty simple. Like 44 of our listeners, $25 a month. Come on. You tell me you want to have 44 people listening and do $25 a month. I know you can. Or you can do one-time payment of $300, or you can do multiples. We've had lots of people donate to 2, 3, or 4 kids. You can do any of it. You get a tax receipt, and you can go on your Visa, $25 a month. See it every month. It's helping out Kids Sport. So text in with your name, your number, if you want your company, business, little plug, way you go. It's pretty simple. 833-401-1440. We heard from Kara, one of the moms of a Kids Sport kid earlier, and really gave us a great rundown on just what it means to have your kid helped out by Kids Sport, to just get them in the game and feel part of something once again, which is awesome. Now, feeling part of something, the World Cup coming to Canada. We got a friendly coming up here on June 1st in Edmonton, and then we get to the World Cup, where the games really begin on the 12th of June. Canada, of course, in a favorable pool, not a guarantee, but definitely a favorable pool. As we go in the room, brought to you by Action Electrical, where you can take action on your savings. Thinking about it? Being on the fence? Well, guess what? Commercial building, lots of rates and perks that you can get up to 30% off. Tax-free credit from the government. You don't know how to do it? Don't worry. Action Electrical can walk you through the whole process. ActionElectrical.net. As Oliver Platt from One Soccer joins us now. Oliver, how you doing?
I'm well, thanks, Jason. How are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm excited. Obviously, the world will be watching the World Cup coming to Canada on men's side for the first time, which is huge. And I guess let's start first of all with Canada. Do you have any update on what you think about Alphonso Davies' availability for the World Cup?
Yeah, we actually heard from Jesse Marsh today on Alfonso, and he essentially ruled him out for that first game, June 12th against Bosnia. So I think that was probably to be expected. It's always looked like Qatar or Switzerland would be the more likely games where Alfonso could return. But Jesse Marsh, didn't completely rule him out, but essentially gave the indication that he won't be ready in time for that game. He also won't join the team in their training camp in North Carolina over the next week or so, and the first they'll see of him will be in Edmonton for that first friendly before the World Cup. So disappointing that Alfonso Davies, after years of build up towards this tournament, and him really being face of even the bid, let alone the team, won't be leading Canada out as captain, it seems, in that first game.
Okay, which is unfortunate, but like you look at that game for Canada, and honestly, I'm not sure you could have, scheduled a better opening round for a potential good start on home soil.
Yeah, I think without wanting to underestimate Bosnia, who I think could be a tough nut to crack. They're not as talented as Canada, but they're very resilient. They'll be difficult to break down. I think it's two games that you'd expect them to win, certainly at home, and I think Qatar is a very winnable game, as winnable as you'll ever get at a World Cup finals. And the hope, I think, will be, especially with a number of injuries that they have leading into this tournament and some key players who won't have played much football in weeks, if not months, is that maybe the difficulty level of the tournament is going to go up a bit more gradually than you'd usually get at a World Cup. And so they can kind of play their way in and work their way into the tournament and build up some of the fitness of these guys. So there's a few of them, like Moise Bombito is another big one, obviously, who are essentially going through like a preseason now in this training camp. They'll get a couple of friendlies and then they've got to be ready to go June 12th. But like I said, maybe, building up for gives them a bit of a chance to get back to match fitness before the real challenges come.
What do you make of Canada's goaltending, and who do you think is going to be the starter? Who's going to win that job? And do you think both could play?
I don't think both will play unless the one who's selected plays badly and forces them into a change. He will pick a number one. I think he's made that pretty clear. I think it'll happen this week. I don't see them splitting the two friendlies. I think they've got to give one goalkeeper both of those games to prepare for the World Cup. As to who it will be, it's still really anyone's guess, which is incredible 2 years later after we kind of entered this process of deciding between Max Crepeau and Dane Sinclair. For a long time, I thought it was leaning towards Sinclair. He was the MLS goalkeeper of the year last year. Crepeau was having all kinds of problems with his club in terms of his form there. I think it may have now swung back in favor of Crepeau. They both made moves this offseason that haven't necessarily worked out brilliantly so far for either one of them, two defensively not very good teams that they're playing for. And I just think if I'm not totally certain on who to pick, I think they may lean towards the kind of experience and familiarity, I think, that's there a bit more with Crepeau than it is with Sinclair. So that would be my guess, but it's 51-49 as far as I can see.
What other positions on the field do you see as highly competitive that will probably maybe get sorted out in camp or during that friendly?
I think centre forward would be one. A lot of positions will be competitive for reasons of injury and health rather than necessarily, Jesse Marsh having a difficult decision as to who to pick based on quality or form. But I think when you look at the positions where they are a bit healthier, you can pretty much, I think, write down in pencil, if not pen, who the midfield will be. The defense will be dependent on health. And then it's up front, in front of Jonathan David, who will play as that kind of number 10 behind a striker, where I think Kyle Larin is now back in pole position to take that job. He's had a tremendous second half of the season in England with Southampton since making that loan move. Tani Oluwaseyi has been the one who started more for Canada over the past year, but he hasn't had a ton of minutes in Spain. And then you have players like Daniel Jebison, Promise David, who it seems like is going to be ready to play in that first game, but I'd be surprised if he starts. That striker position has been one where they struggle to get a consistent source of goals beyond Jonathan David in terms of who partners him.
Yeah, well, Kyle Larin's had a few runs at times. But yeah, obviously it's a tough one. And at the World Cup, you don't get a lot of chances sometimes. So you're going to need someone that when they get a chance, they can bury it.
Well, that was the story of 2022, right? They played the best game I've seen a Canadian men's national team play against Belgium in that opening game, and they missed a penalty and they didn't score. Lost 1-0, and your World Cup is almost over already from there when you get yourself behind the eight ball in that way in a difficult group like they were in 2022. So as much as the performances have improved, I think, over the years under first John Herdman and then Jesse Marsh, if you can't turn performances into results, and that's always been kind of the challenge for Canada against quality opponents, then you're not going to get anywhere. And again, that Bosnia game, like, they're not going to give you anything easy. That's one thing you can guarantee from that team.
Are there any young guys that maybe a lot of the average fan hasn't noticed? Is there anybody that you think could have a coming out party in this tournament for Canada?
Yeah, I think I would look probably, firstly, defensively. There's the chance that someone like a Luc Fougereau gets thrust into a pretty big role, depending on how healthy some of the other defenders are. He's played a decent amount for Canada now, but is still a very young player. Has always done well for Canada, like way beyond what you'd expect for someone with pretty limited first-team experience at club level. And then the one I would kind of look out for in terms of there's already some transfer rumors around him that maybe a step up could be coming and some big clubs are watching is Nathan Saliba in central midfield. I don't think he'll start in front of Vistacchio and Kone, but I think he will be the next midfielder they would go to off the bench and potentially to start later in the tournament. He's already gone to Europe. He plays in Belgium with Anderlecht, and he's done well there. And reportedly, there's already some bigger clubs having a look at him, and probably we'll be watching this summer.
Okay. Oliver Platt joins us talking about the upcoming World Cup. So, Oliver, I've noticed there's injuries all around, too. It's not just Canada. The U.S. has had some serious ones. Would any of the injuries you think have made like a significant potential change into how deep some of these teams can go?
Yeah, I think the biggest one is Lamine Yamal with Spain. He looks like he's on track to certainly at least play some part in the tournament, but going into any tournament with an injury, and not an insignificant injury, is never ideal. He's the difference maker for them. He's, potentially this is his opportunity to showcase himself as the best player in the world and really succeed some of the older guys who are still playing at this tournament. He was tremendous at the European Championship as Spain won that tournament. I think Spain would, with a healthy Yamal, be a lot of people's favorites, and his injury kind of brings that into question. And then the one that we just got this weekend, which I'm not sure how serious it is. I suspect that it was probably just precautionary, but Messi came off in Inter Miami's game, which would obviously have huge ramifications for Argentina if that's anything that keeps him out for any period. So there's a lot. There's been players that have already been ruled out of the tournament entirely. There's quite a few players who are in a race to be fit, and you just kind of think like these players are playing too many games, and it's taking its toll and having a cost at this point.
Yeah. So as we what are you looking for Canada? The friendly comes here in Edmonton. There's already 35,000 tickets sold, getting close to 40,000. So it's going to be a really good crowd. What are you expecting from Canada in that game? What are you going to be looking for?
Who's playing really will be the big one, just in terms of who's ready to play, who's still making their way back from injury. Like these games have become extremely important now, not necessarily in terms of performance and result, although obviously that will build some confidence and momentum if it's positive going into the World Cup. But how many minutes could Moise Bombito play? How many minutes can Derek Cornelius play? Like you've got a series of key players for Canada, even beyond Davies, if we don't expect him to be involved, who have not played club football in any great amount for weeks, if not months. Alfie Jones, who could be an important defender for this team, hasn't played since Boxing Day. And they're going to bring all these guys in and try to get them healthy and try to get them into some kind of match rhythm in the space of 2 to 3 weeks here. So those minutes would be priceless. They're even thinking, I think, about arranging some extra games behind closed doors to try and get those players ready. But those will be the two main opportunities that they get to try to get up to speed for, the biggest tournament on the planet.
Yeah, well, it's going to be massive. There's no question about it. And I think that, it's a big deal. And I think it's important for Canada in an ideal world here. Like, you got to at least get through your pool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think looking at that group, you could, even with the injuries, a reasonable expectation is for them to finish in the top two of this group, particularly, again, playing all three group games at home. Yeah. Anything less than that would be a disappointment. You could sneak through as a third place team. We know that's possible in the 48-team format, but you don't want to leave it to that chance. And frankly, not wanting to disrespect anyone, but Qatar is not generally, I think in a 32-team tournament, if they're not hosting like they were in 2022, I don't think this team qualifies. And then, Bosnia obviously came through kind of the backdoor playoff route as well. So they probably wouldn't have either. And you have to be beating these teams if you have any aspirations of making any kind of impact at a World Cup.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Oliver, we really appreciate it, man. We'll talk to you again after the friendly leading up to the World Cup. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jason.
There you go. That's Oliver Platt from One Soccer. And man, this is going to be it's going to be exciting. I think what I've said it all along. I think once you get to June, people are like, all right. Like I know those of you who have tickets who are going to some of the games, you're pretty jazzed up. And there's some that are definitely excited about it. But I just think as the world starts to arrive, into North America, and it's interesting seeing the different storylines about people canceling a lot of their flights. They're not going to the U.S. games, but they're all coming to the Canada games. So see how it goes. Reed and Ian just came in. Thank you very much. So that pushes us over 75. We'll keep rolling. It's awesome. We're going to get to at least 100 today, okay? We got to get at least there. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. If we can get to that, we'll get to when our goal here. We're still right on pace. We can get 17, 18 each hour in the final 2 hours of the show. We'll reach our goal to help out kids sport, get over 100 kids playing sports. There's over 90 different sporting activities they get involved in. Some individual, some in teams. And it's life-changing for these kids, honestly. So if you got $25 a month that you can afford, that's all it is, $25 a month. Pretty simple. It comes off your Visa. You get a tax receipt, and away you go. And you get the knowledge every time you look at that Visa bill once a month. Oh, hey, there's that $25, man. I got a kid playing sports. So that's awesome. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. As we get to the Con Man and a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fountain Tire. You want to stay on the road. That's what they do. Digital vehicles will tell you not just what's wrong with your vehicle, but they'll show you. So it stays on the road. Get those wheels rolling. FountainTire.com.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Game 3, Habs and Hurricanes from Montreal tonight goes just after 6 o'clock. That series tied at a game apiece over at the World Championships today. It was the United States victorious over Hungary 7-3. Czechia falls to Norway 4-1. Germany doubled up Great Britain 6-3, and Slovenia gets past Italy 5-1. Canada back in action tomorrow, just afternoon, taking on Czechia. The Memorial Cup tonight should be a fun one. Got the Kitchener Rangers from the OHL and WHL champion Everett Silvertips. Puck drop just after 6. In the NBA, Cavs and Knicks from Ohio. Knicks can wrap this one up with a win, currently leading 3-0. Tip off at 6. And majors tonight, Blue Jays hosting the Marlins just after 5. We'll have that one for you on our AM feed immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. A couple games going on right now. Yankees lead the Royals 4-3 in the 9th. In the 6th, the Reds all over the Mets 7-0. And the Giants trail the Diamondbacks 1-0 in the top of the 4th. Coming up in hour 3 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning, get to the stat of the day, and ask 5 questions. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $9.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, and desserts.
Welcome back to
all your favorites when they're just $9.99 each. So
Service
the next time your friends come over to eat your food, order off the Papa Pairings menu and save. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. No one's ever accused car shopping to be fun. I mean, think about it. Awkward standoffs to get a price. Let me go talk to my manager. Dealers asking for your credit card, then melting your phone if you say no. See, not fun. At Northgate, I promise you a different experience. We make it fun. And you will like us, I promise. 0% financing, a great selection of new and pre-owned units. So for some fun, stop in today. 13215 97th Street or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Who's that working on the underground utilities over there? All-Star Construction, that's who. What about the street lighting? Yep, All-Star Construction. And the directional drilling, hydrovacking, neighborhood renewal, and telecommunication work? Yep. Since 2009, All-Star Construction has been doing all that and more, shaping and building Edmonton communities for land developers all around Edmonton. That's what All-Star Construction is all about.
Shoulder pain. It can make even the simplest things like reaching up, lifting a bag, brushing your teeth, or sleeping frustrating. Rotator cuff strains, impingement, arthritis, they're some of the most common issues we treat every day. I'm Grant Fedoruk, and at Leading Edge Physio, our team brings postgraduate training, evidence-based technology, and just the right amount of humor and humility to help you feel better. Because we never forget the most important part, the gratitude we feel for every patient who allows us the opportunity to care for them. Because life shouldn't hurt. When it does, leadingedgephysio.com.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Shake off winter. Roll into spring. It's time to turn the season with Jiffy Lube. Until May 31st, visit any participating Jiffy Lube for a Pennzoil full synthetic oil change, and you could win some incredible prizes, like the Grand Prize Spring Kit featuring 2 Yeti mugs, wiper blades with install, gift cards, and more. You could even roll away with one of Jiffy Lube's Keeping You Moving mini prizes. Turn the season with Jiffy Lube and win. Visit jiffylubeservice.ca today.
Portions of this hour are brought to you by Leading Edge Physio. From weekend warriors to professional athletes, kids playing soccer to grandparents in the garden, rotator cuff tears and tendonitis to post-surgical knees and hips. We fix your body. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 4 o'clock. How are you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching the show. We very much appreciate it. It's always brought to you by our title sponsor, PlayAlberta.ca, where you can get in the game tonight. NHL, NBA, MLB, of course, Canadians, Hurricanes in Montreal. Should be an electric atmosphere there. Of course, what about, I don't know if it's going to be that electric in Cleveland, as the Cavaliers are on life support. They're down 3-0, just trying to get a win to stave off elimination. But the New York Knicks are going to the NBA final. Make no mistake about that. That's happening, just like the Vegas Golden Knights are going to the NHL Stanley Cup final, because Colorado's not winning 4 in a row, man. I don't see it. The Knicks haven't been to the big dance since 1999. Oh, man. Are you telling me, are they going to get the print? Like, when they win, they better be playing Prince song 1999. You kidding me? I don't know. They better be partying like it's 1999, because that was the last time they were in. Like, if that doesn't play on New York stations after that win tonight, it's a fail. It's an easy layup, and it would be a fail if they missed it. So we're halfway through. We've got a really good first 2 hours. We got 75 people. Well, 75 kids, because some of you have donated, sponsored 1 kid, 2 kids, up to 4 for a few of you, which is awesome. So we're at 75. And we'd like to get to 112. That was our goal. So we're a little bit above pace, but that's okay. Just because you're on your pro rating doesn't mean it's going to happen. So we don't want to slow down. We don't want to wait till I have to have a last second cash call at the very end. So we're looking for this hour, 17 people again who want to donate $25 a month. It's very easy. Companies, you can do it. Right, we'll give you a little plug out. Individuals, great. $25 a month or a one-time fee of $300. It's your choice. You can do either one. You get a tax receipt either way. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. And it's to help out kids get in the game at Kid Sport. As I mentioned, there's over 90 different sports that they partner up with Kid Sport to get in. And you make a direct impact in the community through creating access to sports programs. So let's do it. Okay? If you want in, look around. 17 of our listeners. That's not a lot of you. Don't wait. Be the first. $25 a month. It's pretty simple. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. So while we wait for the names to come in, let's get to the 2-minute warning with Cam Tate, brought to you by Legacy Heating and Cooling, where the rates never change. No overtime charges. That's how you build a legacy at legacyheating.ca. Cam Tate, of course, longtime journalist in town. Cam, born with cerebral palsy, in a wheelchair, never lets him slow him down. He's always wanted to be on radio, and now he is. Through the wonders of technology, Cam's words come to life in the 2-minute warning.
I don't know exactly what goes on in Gregor's brain when he dreams up these things. Actually, scratch that. Pretty sure nobody does. But here we are. Welcome to the Triple G. Not girls, gum, and games. Not green, gin, or generations. Forget that. It's the Gregor Giving Gang. And yes, if Gregor was an energy drink, he'd taste like minty gum, flat ginger ale, and probably regret. But let's get one thing straight. This is serious. Monkey suit, fairy tale ending serious. Gregor's on the move again, raising money for Kid Sport. He's out here pitching harder than a hockey dad at a silent auction. Relentless. You'd have better luck dodging Wi-Fi at a coffee shop than dodging Gregor when he's fundraising for these kids. Kids who'd never afford to play team sports otherwise. Know what happens when you join a team? Your friend group grows quicker than Gregor's laundry pile in playoff season. No kidding. Teams are something else. Sometimes they lose a lot. But sticking together, that's where the magic is. Let me tell you, I went to a reunion for the Alberta Northern Lights wheelchair basketball team. It was a landslide of stories. Decades old, some older than Gregor's last haircut. Guess what? Almost none of the talk was about the games. It was about road trips, silent bus rides, jokes nobody but teammates get. 4 decades on, still telling the same tales with the same folks. That's why sport matters. So here's where I throw down my glove. Clean, unlike the ones in Gregor's gym bag. I'm in, sponsoring 4 kids. 4. And now, clock's ticking. You have until 6 p.m. to match me. Or beat me. Let's make a dent. Join Gregor's Giving Gang. Be part of a giving team. 2-minute warning, Sports 1440.
Well, that was amazing by Tater to step up for 4 kids. So, hey, some of you can help him. We love it. Cameron just came in. He is in, as well as Chris. So, I love it. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Just send us your name and Kid Sport. They'll reach out. They always like to talk to people and say thank you. Get all the information, and away you go. So, 833-401-1440. Looks like Hobbs is in as well. So, there we go. Let's keep it rolling. Good little start. Got a lot of other texts get into. And guys, enjoying the conversation about Nurse, more rational than the people who just want to give him away for nothing. Realistically, though, outside of Morgan Riley, do you see any other trades? Well, Steve, it's a good question. I think to look at it, you have to say, okay, what's the team that's acquiring Nurse? What are they looking for? They're going to be looking for a top 4 defenseman. And I'm telling you, there's a shortage of top 4 defensemen around the NHL. Teams are always desperate to find guys. Because usually realistically, you want 5 guys on your team that you're comfortable can play 20 minutes a night. So in the playoffs, if one of them gets hurt, now you got four more still that can play. That's the challenge. That's what made Brett Kulak so valuable. Now, he never got paid like a top 4, but he could play. So that would be the ideal one, is to find a number 5 who you know can play 20 minutes a night when you need be at the time of the year where it matters most. So you got to go find those. So, now Darnell Nurse, keep in mind, he has a no movement clause. So he, people are talking about, get traded here, get traded there. He's not going to get traded to a bottom feeder that's got no chance of success moving forward. Why would he? Right? Why would he? He's getting paid the same regardless. I think he'd want to be in a team. Now, there's no guarantee you win. Ask Colorado. Ask Edmonton. Right? Ask these other teams that have been very good. Dallas. Carolina. There's no guarantee you win. But you want to be in the dance. You want to be able to say, hey, we're at the plate, and we got a chance here to get a hit or two. So you there's some teams that I just eliminate. I could list off at least 10 teams where I say there is no chance that Darnell Nurse would agree to a trade to those teams. That's why we could probably cipher it down. So Canucks, Blackhawks, Flames, Kraken, I think Nashville. I'd be surprised if New Jersey. St. Louis seems to be in a retool mode. I'd be surprised there. Columbus, Detroit. No, so I think you take Toronto. It's his home province, so that's the only wild card maybe. But historically, guys aren't flocking to sign there, despite what the media says. So, even the New York Rangers, it's the Big Apple, but the New York Rangers were 30th in the NHL this year. They just traded away Panarin. What direction are they going? Winnipeg Jets. Maybe. You got Hellebuck, but I think that might be a hard sell. The New York Islanders are intriguing because you're like, hey, man, you know what? It's in New York. It's a big market. They've also got young Schaefer. So maybe, but even that one's so you kind of look at teams where you say, okay, realistically, where would he go that he'd want to go to that's competitive? Right? San Jose is one of the teams that's, is a bottom 10 team in the standings. They had 86 points. They're not that far away. And they've got Macklin Celebrini. He's a really good player. And they got Misa. And they got another top pick this year. And they got Will Smith. So they got some pieces. So maybe. They got a boatload of cap space, so they can afford him. But he want to go there? Maybe he wants out of the spotlight. I don't know if he's ever hated it. The Sabres. Well, the Sabres got a really good top four. So I'm not sure that there's a fit in Buffalo, right? Why would Buffalo look for a Nurse, right? You've got Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power and Bowen Byram as left shot defensemen. You don't need a Nurse. And I don't see them moving one of those guys. I guess you could trade Owen Power for Nurse, but why would you do that? He's 7 years younger. That doesn't make a ton of sense, right? Even Matthias Samuelson's a left shot. So I don't really see. They need a right shot defenseman is what they need, right? Colton Parayko, so yeah, I don't see Buffalo as a fit, more so because they got a boatload of left shot defensemen. It's not going to play the right side. So hey, Greg's, I have to give Cam Tate, he always has great lines, very subtle. Gregor's last haircut. Good one from Ranger Nick. Yeah, Tater, you know what? That was pretty funny. I chuckled at that one because it's true. It's been a while. So he always slides those in. They're pretty good. They're pretty good. So, hey, Gregor, what about Malkin? I don't know, man. Is he going to leave Pittsburgh? They seem pretty loyal there. He likes it there. Sid likes him there. They made the playoffs this year. Obviously, they didn't do much when they got in, but they made it. So, I don't know. I kind of feel that Malkin's going to re-sign there. I think he's kind of on a year-by-year basis. And because they made the playoffs, they really haven't really had a year where it's oh, my God, we're at the trade deadline and they're 20 points out of the playoffs and they're not even competitive. Now, if he was in the final year of his deal when that happened, then maybe he'd look for a deal. But like a lot of people thought this past year was going to be that year. Last year, Malkin's deal. They're not going to be in the race. He's going to get traded at the deadline. Didn't happen. So, I don't know. Crosby, that's just, I think Malkin would like those guys have won 3 cups. They like it there. I'm sure they'd love to win again. But like they're not as desperate for a cup as guys who haven't won any or guys who've only won one and it's been many years. So that's the other challenge. So, hey, Gregor, what about the Panthers? Oh, I don't. Why the Panthers looking to acquire Nurse? Like, look at their back end. I think they like their back end. You know, their big trade was they got Seth Jones. They got Aaron Ekblad. They got Gustav Forsling, Nico Mikla. Like, their top 4 are signed all through, I think, until 2030. And I think the longest is, didn't Nikola's new deal kick in next year? And it's like an 8-year deal or a 7-year deal, one of the two. So I don't think so. I think Florida, like, they'll make some moves. I'm curious what they do with a guy like if I'm AJ Greer, I'm 29 years of age. This is my summer to cash in. He had a really good regular season. He got the opportunity with some injuries and he got to produce more. He's physical. He's an agitator. He's got some hands. So I don't think he's coming back. But they got most of their guys coming back. Their big question is what are they going to do in goal? Bobrovsky and Daniil Tarasov. Like I think Tarasov's camp's waiting to see what they do with Bob. And if Bob signs there, he might be like, maybe I want to go somewhere else. Because I think he'd like to be a starter. And I think he's close to showing he can be a starter. Hey, Gregor, what about Jordan Kyrou for Jake Wallman? Well, why would St. Louis do that? Like, honestly. Right? Like, I look at, I've seen his name out. And honestly, like, if Edmonton's trading away, okay, you get rid of Jake Wallman, $7 million, and Jordan Kyrou makes what? 8 mil, maybe a little bit more, like 8.1. And he's got, I think, 5 years after this. Wallman has 7. But you look at their defense there. Broberg's a lefty. Cam Fowler's a lefty. Are they going to pay Wallman $7 million to be their third pair left defenseman? I guess so. So, yeah, I'm not sure that one works. I always try to look at it from both sides. Like, why would St. Louis look through that? Now, Wallman can play both sides. So they might look and say, hey, we got Parayko, Broberg, Fowler, and Jake Wallman. Okay, now that could make sense. But then they're searching for more offense. Like, honestly, St. Louis to me is one of the most intriguing teams of the offseason because we know they tried to trade Parayko. Like, they got as close as they could until he vetoed the trade. Binnington's entering the last year of his deal. I think they think Hofer is their future in goal. Teams are desperate for goaltenders, always. And Binnington shows up at big moments. So he'll have some cash in the market. And we've heard Thomas, we've heard Kyrou's names bantied about for a while here. So, I don't know. I would be, would Wallman, would that be the move that works for them, Connor Halley? What do you think?
Moving on, you said it right. Like, why would someone want Wallman at this point? A 7 year, $7 million. Like, to me, if you had to eat that for a couple of years, you might be willing to do it, assuming he can stay healthy. Because we know when he's on and healthy, he can be an effective player. To me, it's just that term. I don't see why any team would want to put that on their books for the next 7 years.
Yeah, because unfortunately, he's a guy who misses 15 to 20 games a year. Until he doesn't, that's what he's going to be. Right? That's just the truth. So, there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get to some stats of the day. We got Spec, Nick Anderson, and more. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for 2. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at usecarwash.com.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors: strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
And here comes Action Electrical Service Team sprinting onto the scene. These are your first responders for any electrical emergency.
That's right. With their fleet of service vans and specialized gear, they assess, they service, and maintain electrical lighting and automation systems. They're all about rapid response.
Quick diagnostics and repairs to restore power and safety fast. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pick for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Start your day with a blast of sports. Kevin Carius, along with Brandon Douglas, brings the fire, the fun, and the fearless takes. Weekdays, 7 to 11. Text Kevin, 883-401-1440. Mornings with Sports 1440.
Good to go. With Mortgages to Go, you'll be good to go. Mortgagestogo.ca says yes when the banks say no. That's why Alberta has trusted Mortgages to Go for over 23 years. If you need cash and have equity in your home, you're approved instantly, guaranteed. Call 1-888-888-5998. That's 1-888-888-5998. With Mortgages to Go, you'll say, good to go.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuckwagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Alberta is growing, but our highways are crumbling. Are you tired of the rough ride? In the last 15 years, our population has grown with hundreds of thousands more cars and trucks on our highways. Today, more than 15% of Alberta's highways are in poor condition. Cutting highway maintenance doesn't save money. It makes repairs more expensive. Don't let the government ignore the problem. Your MLA works for you. Tell them to fix our roads. Visit fixourroads.com for more information.
A message from the Alberta Road Builders and Heavy Construction Association.
Portions of this hour brought to you by UL. Helping you finish your electrical project is their goal. From pot lights to electrical panels, the gear you need is at ul.ca or in person at one of their Edmonton area locations. ul.ca, your partners in power.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
427, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Declan Kruger, Sports 1440, Sports1440. Hey, we're up to 77. Let's just keep it rolling. Just keep the ball going. 77 kids getting into a kid sport and playing. It's $25 a month. It's very simple. Or $300 a year, one-time payment. Either way, you get a tax receipt for both. But if you want to do the reminder every month on the Visa, you can. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Cameron and Chris, the latest to get in on it. So let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Want to get to our goal today and help out a lot of kids because it's important for the kids, important for the community, and away we go. While we wait for that, let's get to our stats of the day, brought to you by All Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities. Founded in 2009, specializing in power, gas, telecommunications, street lighting, and hydrovacing, all the underground utilities. That is All Star Construction. And so a few stats of the day to get to. Let's start with the little green and gold stats for you. I get it. It's a preseason game. But you look at I'm just going to read you the quarterback numbers. Powell, 13 of 14, 160 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest pass was 30 yards to Mac. Zabrowski was 3 for 3 for 83 yards, 1 TD, 58 longest to the rookie Kettle from U of A. Snyder, 5 for 7, 74 yards, 1 touchdown, 41 long to Calhoun. Now, Cody Fajardo was in the least, but he went 2 for 6, 26 yards, 1 for 14, 1 for 12. The Elks, to me, the thing that I looked at most, 15 pass receptions of 10-plus yards or more. That is key for this team because last year, through the air, they weren't that aggressive. Now, first of all, they were just not very efficient on first down. They were in second and long, or when I say second and long, I'm talking second and 10 or longer. They're the most of any team in the league. Their first down production was brutal. Wasn't the case. Now, I know it's not full rosters. I understand it. But for a team that has lost a lot in the preseason lately, I just think getting a win, they've tried to take everything serious right from day one. The majority of players dressed in that game. Rankin didn't. Leak didn't. Lots of the other guys did. You know, it was only for a few snaps they got in. And I think a lot of those guys are going to play. You're going to get to see the game this week at home at Clark Stadium. It's a throwback. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be jam-packed. And it should be a hell of a lot of fun. So that's a good start for the green and gold. Now, switching to the NHL. Carolina. How about this? This is wild. Their victory on Saturday night was their first home ice win in the conference final since 2006. And they've been in the conference final many times. They got swept 3 in a row. Then they lost 4-1. Then they lost 4-1. They hadn't won at home. Well, Oilers fans, you don't want to hear it, but since 2006, when they beat the Oilers in Game 7. Because, of course, they lost in Game 5. Oh, no, that was, against Buffalo. That was Stanley Cup final. But last time they won a conference final against the Sabres in 2006. Now, maybe we shouldn't be surprised that they won in overtime. They're 4-0 this year. There's only 2 teams in NHL Stanley Cup history that have a better record in overtime without losing. The Florida Panthers in 2023 and the Anaheim Ducks in 2003. Both of them went 7-0 in overtime. But you also know what else both of them did? They lost in the Cup final. So they were really good in overtime, but they just came a little bit short of their goal. 23 Panthers, 2003 Ducks. But the Hurricanes are now 4-0 this year in the playoffs in overtime. They've won 6 in a row. Not bad. So we'll see. Now, the Canadians, if you recall, 1993, they won an NHL record 10 games that year in the playoffs. 10 out of their 16 wins were overtime wins. They went 10-1 in OT. I noticed they put on the screen last night that Vegas now has 15 goal scorers in the playoffs. Buffalo and Colorado have the most. They have 17. Colorado's played 12 games. Buffalo played 13. Montreal has 16 different scores in 16 games. So basically, 1 score every game. Philly in 10 games had 16 different goal scorers. Pretty solid. The Oilers, I know everybody thought, the Oilers had 10 different goal scorers in 6 games. Carolina's had 11 scores in their 10 games that they played. So, I still argue, I don't think Edmonton's depth is that horrific. It can always improve. But it's not like, oh my God, terrible. Their biggest issue, again, is going to be reducing goals against. It should be a song. We should make a song about it and just sing it every day. Make it a top 40 song. Until they play it over and over and over and over and over and over again until you're like, oh my God, I hate it, but you all know the song. It's kind of where we should be at for the Oilers. Maybe we got some songwriters out there. Maybe we'll do a collab and we'll write a song about the Oilers because everybody will, they need more scoring. No, they don't. Scoring, not an issue in Edmonton. Until the Oilers are not a top 5 team in goals, it's not an issue. Heck, even top 10. How about be a top 10 teams in goals against? That should be their goal. Because it will help. No question. To the NBA, how about the Thunder yesterday? They got 82 points in the game. They hadn't been held to under 90 in over 4 years. They hadn't been held under 90 in a playoff game dating back until 2020. It was not a good night for the Thunder. It's a very good night for the Spurs, but not a good night for the Thunder. And that's some pretty interesting ones. You look at the game tonight, Montreal Canadiens taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. And in Montreal, it's going to be an electric atmosphere, right? Like that's who's not excited about it. So we'll see. This is our chance to maybe like the Colorado Vegas series. Like everybody knows what's happened. There's only 4 teams in NHL history who have ever come back from 0-3 deficit. So is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? No. Not very likely at all. And another stat for you, in case you're paying attention, Canada will wrap up the round robin portion of the tournament at the World Championships, and they will go in as the number 1 seed in their side. They clinched that. They do have 1 game tomorrow, but it's not going to matter. They've already got 17 points. They're 6-0, 5 wins in regulation, and then 1 overtime win. So Norway in second place. Czechia, each with 13 points, and then Slovakia has 11. Now, Sweden would need to win, and Canada would need to beat Slovakia, which could happen in regulation, and then Sweden could get the number 4 seed. Meanwhile, in Group A action, you have Switzerland and Finland. They're both 6-0, tied for first, play each other. Then you got Germany at 10 points, Austria, Latvia at 9, and Team USA is at 8. They would need a win in regulation, and then they're going to need a lot of help. So just to make the playoff round. So we'll see what happens. That's all going to go down tomorrow. And then the playoffs will get going. So your stats of the day brought to you by All-Star Construction. One other stat, though, for our Kids Sports Gregor's Gaming Gang. We got about an hour and a half left. Okay? We've fallen a little bit behind. Not a lot, but a little bit on our goal to get to. We're currently at 77 kids. Okay? So let's get it up there. Some companies, individuals, get you on 1 kid, 2 kid, anyone you want. But hey, all we need is a minimum. We got to at least get to triple digits. Okay? At least. So we need 23 listeners. It's not very many. At $25 a month. Okay? Get us through. Look around. Can you afford $25 a month? You're not going to miss it. You're going to make a huge difference for a kid or 2. So go on in, 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. So we got to at least get to 100. Okay? So we got to get to. So 833-401-1440. So 23 more. I think we can do that. We got an hour and 23 minutes, funny enough. So it's not hard at all. So think around, make a call, maybe get into your office, ask your boss, hey, we want to donate, we want to sponsor. It'd be good. We get some kids playing sports. It's a huge deal for them and make a huge difference in their life, and you'll feel good about it. You will. So $25 a month or a one-time donation of $300. Either way, it's tax. Or if you want to do multiple kids, Just times it by 2, 3, or 4. And that's where you'll get to the number you need. 833-401-1440. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. 5 questions on the Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your supplier of maximum comfort, bringing you the cool AC you need. You just have to call Legacy. Call Legacy. For comfort at night when the hot air suffocates you. Call Legacy. For comfort in your wallet with no payments or interest for 1 year. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. You deserve comfort. Cool off today with AC from Legacy Heating and Cooling.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $9.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, and desserts. It's easy to order all your favorites when they're just $9.99 each. So the next time your friends come over to eat your food, order off the Papa Pairings menu and save. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Well, get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at EWEL.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey there, I'm in the Fountain Tire sidecar, making a list of the things I'm doing this spring. 1. Saving you money, with up to 20% off select tires until June 13th. 2. Water skiing, tricky in a sidecar, but fun. And 3. Saving you more money, with mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires and $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires. Oh, that's 4 things. Oh well, restrictions apply. Book online at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
This is you.
Hi.
And your cornhole team needs money.
Yeah, we do need money.
Plus, you've tried every fundraiser under the sun.
No kidding, and no one's buying my Cuban salted chocolate.
Scrap the chocolate and fundraise for your team, club, or charity at On the Rocks. Here's the deal. We'll create custom tickets for your event, which includes no cover, no line, and beverage before 10 p.m. Then you sell your tickets and keep all the profits.
That sounds easy.
It is. Fundraisers at On the Rocks. Book, party, cash. OnTheRocksYEG.com.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
A long weekend pit stop without a Toyota Prius plug-in hybrid can be hectic. But when you get a Prius plug-in hybrid during Red Tag days, you can take advantage of an estimated combined range of up to 962 kilometers and get there with fewer stops. Take advantage of Red Tag days on now. Receive a $5,000 lease incentive, plus get up to a $2,500 federal rebate for eligible customers on select 2026 Prius plug-in hybrid models. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Prairie Toyota dealer today.
From the local links to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
The funny thing about hitting the road to leave it all behind is you don't really want to leave it all behind. So Sherwood Honda has the SUV with plenty of room for all you want with you. Think Honda CR-V, the Honda Pilot, or maybe even a Ridgeline truck. With this kind of lineup, you can go where you want and bring all you want with you. You sure would make it easy to leave your cares behind by starting at Sherwood Honda.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take 1 for Gene Principe. Hey, thanks for being on time.
I'm always punctual. Now, how about some cool beats while I drop the heat?
Ready when you are.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's gonna love this for AC season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep. Unlike Legacy, I never know when to cool it.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Cantork, made in Canada, made for Canada, where extreme isn't theoretical. Find your solution at cantork.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
.442. So we roll through on a lovely Monday afternoon. Hope you are having a great Monday. What a beautiful day, man. Like, it's so nice to get some warm weather. You just, you know what? Maybe you got sandals on, got the Crocs, whatever it is. Maybe you're going barefoot. Who cares? A little dangerous on the streets, but hey, you do you. It's nice out. It's warm out. It's awesome. So it should be a good week of weather. Hopefully it continues. Got Riverhawks back in action on Friday. We got the Elks going old school at Clark Stadium for a preseason game. People wondering why they're doing that, because the friendly will be going on at Commonwealth. So they're going to be putting the grass is going in. It's not already in. They'll be in. They're going to play the game on June 1st. Then they'll take the grass out, and brand new turf will be ready for the green and gold to start their season at home, which is on June 20th. Because, of course, they start the season on the 6th in Ottawa. So there you go. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca tonight. Get in on the NHL action as you look at it. Colorado, well, they're done. They're a slight favorite tomorrow night, but not by much at home. Meanwhile, the Canadians at home ice tonight, pretty big underdog. So if you like the Dogs, you might want to think of the Habs tonight on home ice. Meanwhile, in the NBA, how about this? The Cavs are less of an underdog at home tonight than the Montreal Canadiens are. Like, that's kind of surprising to me. So, I know the Cavs are facing elimination, but they've been close in that series. Not at all. So, if you like some Canadians, it's not bad. Let's get to 5 questions now, brought to you by The Brick and the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. There's also a life-size Shaq waiting in store if you want to check it out. But please stop in right now. 30% off all sofas, love seat, recliners, and sectionals for Shaq-opedic right now. For the big guy. Check it out at thebrickandthebrick.com.
It's time for 5 questions on the Jason Gregor Show.
All right, Jason, question number 1. How much credit do you give to Torts for the Golden Knights' success in the postseason?
That's a good question. He gets some. I'm not sure how much he can get. It's not like the Vegas didn't have a solid team. They've been playing more consistent. It's like the players said, okay, enough's enough. Like, let's play again. But Tortorella's message, whatever it's been different. And it resonated with the players. Maybe it's just the release of Casty not being there. Who knows? But I got to give him some credit. I don't know. Like, I don't think I can say, oh man, Torts is like the major credit guy, but he'll get some credit for sure. There's no doubt about it. But the other thing is, Vegas's most important players, for the most part, are all contributing. In goal, then you look up front, right? Like, look at who's producing for them. Like, obviously, Brett Howden is a surprise. You always need one of those guys. But Mitch Marner, Jack Eichel, Pavel Dorofeev are their top 3 scorers. Dorofeev's got 10 goals. Brett Howden's got 10 goals now, too. Right? Mitch Marner has 7 goals and 21 points in 15 games for the Vegas Golden Knights, which I'm sure is just irritating for Toronto. Now, I saw Nick Alberga as a friend, but I'm like, Nick, settle down. Claiming, if Mitch Marner played like this, there'd have been, he was talking about that there would have been a dynasty in Toronto. I'm like, pardon? It's one player. But Mitch Marner has 7 goals in 15 games with Vegas. He had 7, 10, 13 goals in 70 games with Toronto in the playoffs. Now, we can have a whole question as to why, but did Mitch Marner recognize that he had to play at a higher level when he's around a group of players who know what it takes to play at a higher level? It's a fair question. Like, I always argue, Toronto has good players, but I think they all thought their hardest was their hardest because that's all they knew. And now he gets out of Toronto and it's like, oh, geez, maybe I got to be harder. And to his credit, he stepped up.
I'm with you. Yeah, bar's higher in Vegas for sure. I give him a little bit of credit as well. I think, the reputation precedes him when he shows up. You want to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. You don't want to get the wrath of Tortorella. But I think we've seen it. The coach bump, saying the stigma, it's there for a reason. It's a thing that does happen. It happened at a good time, but I think the Golden Knights, that's kind of what they needed because they do have a good team. Maybe the old message was getting a little stale. New coach comes in and it's worked for them. Question number 2 for you. Oilers signing Acurati today. 2-way deal. What do you think his usage looks like next season?
Good question. Well, I think he's going to be in the American League. So, now he could be a surprise guy, but he comes to camp. He's on a 2-way deal. So he would have to really earn a spot. And I think with only 4 preseason games, it'll be tough. So I'll say I think he starts in the minors with a chance to be the 13th or 14th forward.
I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, hey, good season in Finland for him. Good idea to go over there and put up some good numbers, have some success. And if he wants to get back to the NHL, that was probably a good route for him. I'm with you, though. I think AHL for the season, maybe something happens. You needed a guy to get up there who has a pro experience. But I wouldn't be banking on him to be the savior by any means. Question number 3 for you. Getting a very competitive Western final in the NBA. It's now tied at 2 games apiece. Are you leaning any way between the Spurs and the Thunder?
Interesting series, man. Like, I thought this was going to go 7. I thought it'd be really close. I picked the Thunder at the start, so I'll stick with them. But the one caveat is the Williams injury, man. Like, the deeper the series goes, I think losing your second best player becomes more of a problem for your team. But like OKC looked terrible yesterday, but I don't think that means anything moving into game 5. They'll be back at home. They got 2 out of 3 at home. It's going to be great. Like, I'll be stunned if it doesn't go 7. I'll say that.
I'm with you. I'm going to lean towards the Thunder just based off experience. Now, Wemby's the freak that could change everything, but I think they've been through it before. Obviously, they were pushed by the Pacers last year as well. So I think this is a group that knows how to bounce back. So I lean with the Thunder. Question number 4 for you. What was the biggest takeaway from the Elks win in BC?
Well, I'll temper this. Just remember, I know it's pretty, but my biggest takeaway was the fact that they threw the ball downfield consistently. Every quarterback. Right? They had 15 completions of 10+ yards downfield. And that's what you have to have in the CFL. You can't, like, I don't mind a good screenplay, especially when it's to Rankin, and he takes a 4-yard pass and busts it up 70 yards. That's awesome. But you have to be able to beat teams downfield. And I like the fact that they use the middle of the field more. I thought last year they were almost scared to throw the ball to the middle of the field. Yeah, there's a few more people there, but there's way more big plays there too, right? So that's what I like. Like, I really like the kettle play. And by the way, man, that rookie just keeps showing up and getting noticed.
100%. Great after the catch. One for me that's not ideal. BC had attempted 34 passes. You only got home once with Justin Pace getting the lone sack. I know there's more to it, pressures and all that sort of thing, but I'd like to see that pass rush piece just because of what we saw last year to start the year, how bad it was. I'm watching the pass rush. And then for you, for offense, I'd just say the efficiency with running the football. Baker was averaging 5.9 yards per carry. Isaiah Knight at 4.6. Those are good numbers. Like, you can run the ball on first down there and put yourself in a pretty good situation. So just the average yards per carry, I know they each had a 12 and 11-yard run, but nonetheless, that's a good number. And I think with Rankin and Javon Leake, that number, that if that hangs around, the Edmonton Elks going to be putting themselves in good position to go on long drives down the field. Question number 5 for you. On this day in 1659, Richard Cromwell resigned as Lord Protector of England, earning himself the nickname Tumbledown Dick as a result of his abrupt fall from power. In honor of that, what do you think are the most unfortunate nicknames in sports?
Oh, it's a good question. Well, now he's owned it, so I don't know, but like, what about Booger McFarland? Right? Like, but a lot of people probably thought that's his name. Well, it's actually a nickname because his real name's Anthony. But like Muscle Hamster is a funny nickname for Doug Martin. But I guess I'd probably go because it's very tone deaf. It's terrible. But Lester the Molester Hayes, his sticky play, right? That's a pretty bad nickname. Hard to top that one.
I didn't even know that one. Yeah, I would say, because I had written down the Muscle Hamster, because even Doug Martin, R.I.P., didn't like it. Like he tried to get
How could he like it?
He's like, call me the Duggernaut. And everyone said, no, we're going to call you the Muscle Hamster.
You can't get, well, that's probably what he asked to be called, the Duggernaut. Like, he should have just paid someone to try to make that one stick, right?
Yeah.
Get some fan who's popular. Just repeat it. Oh, there's the Duggernaut. But you can't go to your buddies. Hey, you want to call me the Duggernaut? Because any self-respecting friend's going to be like, yeah. And then he turns around, never happening.
No.
Like, come on.
No, okay, Muscle Hamster. Another one would be the Emerald City Route Artist, which someone in Seattle tried to call Jackson Smith the Jigba. He kind of like smiled with it, but terrible nickname. Big Baby for Glenn Davis. Yeah. Big Baby. What? In any context, that just sounds bad. And I always also the Flying Tomato in there for Sean White. It's kind of cool, but
Flying Tomato.
It's a weird nickname.
Now, the one I never understood was why Kevin Durant didn't like the Slim Reaper. Like, that's such a good nickname. And then remember, he tried it. No. And then he wanted to be called the Servant. What? Right? Like, that was terrible. The Servant. Give me like the Slim Reaper. I never understood why I didn't like that. Like, was he that conscious of being slim? Like, dude, you're slim, but you're a killer. You're like the Slim Reaper would have gone down as one of the greatest nicknames. I still can't believe he didn't like it. Like, I'd love to know one day for him to fully admit, you know what? I was really self-conscious that I was too skinny. What? Own it, man. Like, come on. The Slim Reaper, I think, would go down as the greatest nickname that a guy basically self-vetoed. It's too bad because that was awesome. Awesome nickname.
I didn't even know he didn't like that.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. It's just not good, man. Not good at all. So I'm sure there's some, I know a lot of people like, what about he hate me? But he kind of gave himself that one in, just because he, it's kind of like he want. Now, what about like Butterbean? Right? That's another funny nickname. Would you go with that one? The boxer?
I mean, as a nickname, it's a bad one, but like it works for him.
Yeah.
And I don't know his real name. Growing up for me, that was just Butterbean.
Well, I think his real name's Eric. I don't know. I have no idea what his last name is, but I'm 90% certain his first name was Eric. You can double check Butterbean. I think it's Eric.
I just liked using him in video games. I don't even know what video game it was, but was he a boxer first or?
Well, that's all I know, Maz.
What if he did anything else?
Yeah.
77, 10 and 4.
What's his first name?
Eric.
It is there.
Eric Esch.
Eric what?
Esch. ESCH.
Oh, okay. Never, no chance. No chance. Trying to think of, I never thought Man Ram was a great nickname for Manny Ramirez, right? It's like the big Aristotle. Like, just call him Shaq. Like, come on.
If it's longer, it's not a good nickname. You can't, it doesn't roll off the tongue.
Yeah. Like, we could probably go, what's the greatest nickname? Maybe we'll do that another day. Because that one, I think we get lots of reaction. Like, what was the greatest nickname? Hey, boys, what about Red Light Rasco? Oddball, that's the winner. No question. Red Light Rasco. God, that's a tough one for a goalie. Oddball, excellent choice. Without question, that is number one. Number one. So
we used to have people calling, remember Kamal Peterson?
Yeah.
Come out Incompleterson. That was a chirp we heard a lot at games back in the day.
He had that 1 year. He couldn't catch a ball to save his life, which is weird because lots of other times he could.
Oh, his catch that he made, was it after the Jason Tucker injury? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Pulled up his shirt, had the little message for Tucker. Yeah. That was an unbelievable grab because, he after the tough year, he really bounced back strong.
Yeah. Kamal Incompleterson. Hey, Gregor, did you say the Boulanger Triangle? Oh, that wasn't unfortunate, Dustin. That was a sick nickname. I'll tell you that right now. Sick nickname. Maybe unfortunate for him because it was true, but that was a good one. God. And to be honest, like, I don't know, Boulanger and I never got along. And just the fact that irked him, I kind of gave me like I liked it more. Right? Because, hey, like the human rake laughed at his. Pronger still chuckles about it. Right? Even Sakara, the shin pad assassin, it's not the most flattering one, but he got a chuckle over it. I remember he pulled me aside one day and he was asking me about my coat because he was very big on clothes. So he shot the Dirk slots and we're talking about it. And then he goes, and he just looks at me and goes, shin pad assassin. And I'm like, yeah, it's good. And he goes, that is kind of funny. Right? Because he had a good sense of humor. It was true. Like he was just pounding pucks into the shin pads like no one else, man. He killed it. So it was good. So. Hey guys, Devontae Smith goes by the Slim Reaper.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. It's not the same effect, man. Like Kevin Durant could beat teams by himself. So, but that's good for him. What about Durantula? God, even that one would have been better.
That's good. Yeah.
Like, the servant. What a terrible, terrible name. Now, hey, we're getting to the final hour. But hey, we got to pick things up here. It's Monday. It's Kid Sport Week, and we want to get to at least 100. Okay, so we're at 77 kids. So let's have a good final hour here. It's $25 a month. That's not very much for a lot of people. 25 bones. I know there's lots of you that can afford it. $25 a month to get a kid playing sports. It's a life-changing opportunity for those kids, and for some of you that are lucky enough to be in a situation won't even miss the $25. Let's get it up there. So we got 77. We got to keep going here. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. So let's rock and roll. Kid Sport Week, right? We want to get to 100. So let's go. 833-401-1440. Let's get to the comment on Sports 1440 update brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Man, I was in the showroom last week. God, I saw the new Corvette. Connor Halley. Oh, my God. I wanted one. That's so good. They got vets all in the showroom in the Autoplex and heavy-duty trucks, finally, 0% financing. Right now, NorthgateGM.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 from Montreal tonight in the Eastern Conference Final. The Canadiens and Hurricanes meet. Puck drop just after 6. That's where he decided a game apiece. Over across the pond, you got World Championship action from today. United States knocking off Hungary 7-3. Norway over Czechia 4-1. Great Britain falls to Germany 6-3, and it was Slovenia over Italy 5-1. Canada back in action tomorrow afternoon, taking on Czechia. At the Memorial Cup tonight, OHL champion Kitchener Rangers taking on the WHL champion Everett Silvertips. Puck drop 6 o'clock from Kelowna. And in the association, you got the Cavs and the Knicks from Cleveland. New York wins this series with a win, currently leading 3-0. Major League Baseball tonight, Toronto Blue Jays are in action, taking on the Miami Marlins just in about 5 minutes' time. We'll join that game in progress on our AM feed immediately following the Jason Gregor Show. A couple games underway. Reds on top of the Mets 7-2. Giants trailed the Diamondbacks 6-2, and early on, Phillies up on the Padres 1-0. Earlier today, Cubbies fall to the Pirates by a score of 2-1. Orioles over the Rays in extras 9-7, and the Brewers drop the Cards 5-1. Coming up in hour 4 of the Jason Gregor Show, we'll be joined by Mark Spector of Rogers Sportsnet and Edmonton Elks linebacker Nick Anderson. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
With Play Alberta, backing the home team goes beyond the bets. That's because your picks have provincial impact. Play Alberta is the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. By investing in the General Revenue Fund, every play, bet, and buy made on Play Alberta helps make a difference across the province. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Papa John's, get your everyday favorites for just $9.99 each when you order 2 or more items from the Papa Pairings menu. When you order more, you save more. Choose from medium one-topping pizzas, boneless wings, papadillas, breadsticks, cheese sticks, and desserts. It's easy to order all your favorites when they're just $9.99 each. So the next time your friends come over to eat your food, order off the Papa Pairings menu and save. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shack-beaded memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shack is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces. Exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Smart, connected, community driven. Jason Gregor sets the standard for sports talk in Edmonton. Join the conversation on Sports 1440. Text Gregor 833-401-1440. Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Say hello to your new favorite drinks. Introducing new McCafe Refreshers. Icy cool, undeniably refreshing, and available in 3 flavors. Strawberry watermelon, mango pineapple, and blackberry passion fruit. Only at McDonald's.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you
Connor
to
Halley.
the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for 2. To enter the contest, just text GAME.
So we roll through on a lovely.
7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
To the guy who said, I'll marinate the chicken, then forgot. Hi, your Safeway PA announcer here. We've got you covered with a variety of freshly prepared kebabs, ranging from chicken to beef and pork. They even come pre-marinated, so all that's left is pretending you made it yourself. And they're on sale this week. For more great summer deals, check our flyer at safeway.ca. Variety may vary by store. See flyer for details.
At Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
A lot of you love hockey season. But when it comes to construction season, you're not as excited unless you work for GS Construction. It's true. As one season is winding down, ours is winding up with all sorts of great projects to make the city we live in better. And our team is hiring. GS Construction is scouting for pipe layers, topmen, and heavy equipment operators. So if you want to score a great job, visit gsconstruction.ca today.
Portions of this hour brought to you by 01 Athletic Care. Injuries don't wait, and neither should you. 01 Athletic Care offers one-stop access to doctors, x-rays, and casting. It's expert musculoskeletal care covered by Alberta Health right in West Edmonton Mall. Move from injury to recovery. Book now at 01.ca. That's ZERONE.ca.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
Just after 5 o'clock. How you doing? Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. You made it through another work day. Hopefully it was a productive one. Gregor Show always brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. 4 Whistle Farms is in sponsoring kids. I love it. So let's keep it rolling here. Now we're down to 22. Okay, we need at least 22 more. So 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. It's pretty simple. It's $25 a month. Okay, it's very simple to do. 25 beans a month, or one-time payment of $300, or if you want to do 2 kids, $50, $600. You know the deal. So we got to get to at least triple digits. Okay, so it's Kids Sport Week. So let's help it out. We're at 78. Let's keep it rolling. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440. Now, let's get to the spec report brought to you by GS Construction, your underground infrastructure specialists, and they are hiring. Looking for top men, pipe layers, operators, and more. Go to gsconstruction.ca and look up careers. As Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins the spec. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good, man. Raising some money for Kids Sport, are you? I see.
We are trying. Yes, we are trying. So get 100 kids playing.
22 more?
22 more, yes. So
okay, well, give me one of them. I'll get us.
Oh, all right, spec.
Right direction here.
There you go. That's nice. Okay, so hey guys, match spec. Trust me, the guy's got cobwebs on his wall. The fact that he just got off of it is unbelievable. I'm just chirping. Attaboy spec. So that's great. So down to 21. So match spec. How about all of you who like painting as much as spec does? And you know, any of you other guys who have earned your man card lately by fixing something around the house?
Yeah, I challenge all other certified boat mechanics out there to match spec.
Yes, that's awesome. Now let's the Colorado Avalanche spec, man. It's winning is hard in the NHL, and it's harder when you're injured, but it becomes even more difficult when you blow a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, it's crazy. That really hurts because they grabbed control of the game. I'm sure their belief was at an all-time high. They told themselves before the game, listen, we haven't been who we are. We're going to come out tonight and we're going to be, we're going to be ourselves, and we're going to walk in this rink and we're going to win a game here, man. And you come into the room after the first period, it's 3-0. You're like, yeah, you know what? We were right. It's working. It's happening. And then boom, 3 goals against in the second, another in the third, and it's over. And it's a gut punch to lose, Jason, and go down 3-0. We all know that. Every player in the league knows your chances are nil now. But it's a real gut punch when you put your best foot forward and they still beat you the way Vegas did last night.
Yeah, it's you know what? When they were up 3-0, you're thinking, okay, now they're back here. I knew there'd be a little bit of a pushback, but Colorado just didn't do much after that. And then obviously the Nathan McKinnon unfortunate block shot, to me, that's like a deep bruise Charlie horse for sure, probably.
At least.
And he could barely skate after that. So I think that's a mental one. Teams just look, oh my, you can see the guy in pain, but that was after they had blown the 3-goal lead.
Yeah, I think what people forget about, hockey is its own sport, and obviously in many ways, but we've learned in Edmonton, it certainly is. It's the biggest team sport. You can have 2 of the greatest players in the world and still not win. You need a team. Yeah. We all know that. I'm not breaking any ground here, but the one thing about hockey that maybe differentiates it from others is the object, ball, let's say, is a vulcanized frozen piece of rubber flying around the rink at 100 miles an hour. You get hit by a basketball, it doesn't injure you. You get hit by a football, it doesn't injure you. Sure, a baseball, can it hurt you? Yeah, but you can also go an entire World Series without seeing a hit by pitch, or a guy gets it in the foot or the arm or whatever. My point is, the randomness of hockey is made greater by the fact that, Connor McDavid gets a puck in the leg and breaks whatever he broke. The whole entire series is different. McKinnon gets hit by that puck. The entire series changes. And I guess the subsequent debate, Jason, and I'll ask you what you think, is, does Nate McKinnon need to block that shot? He's 50 feet from his net. Why is he blocking that shot?
Yeah, well, I think that's kind of, that's just hockey, right?
Is it smart hockey though?
Yeah, well, I would debate it all day long that the infatuation with hockey and, everybody has to block shots. I'm like, you got guys in the net, who are paid lots of money and who are covered in gear that protect you. When's the last time a goalie, took a shot that forced him out of the game, unless it's to his head, maybe. right? And,
Yeah.
and sometimes
Almost
you get concussion.
Almost
right?
never.
Like, you've got pad after pad and padding, and now you've got knee pads and extra knee pads and pants and everything, and that's fine. But yeah, I do. There are times when I'm like, oof, it seems like it's a little bit over the top in how much we expect everybody to shot block.
Well, that's why I don't want my McKinnons and McDavids killing penalties, because to me, you can't kill penalties and not block shots. Like PK guys, every guy should block shots. That should be a major mandate of any good PK is to get in the way of shots. I don't want McDavid and Draisaitl blocking shots on a PK. Fronting an Evan Bouchard cannon. Like, that's just bad for business, man. So, I don't know. I just think a moment like last night's game, how did McDavid hurt his leg? It was prior to the Ekholm mishap, right? He got a shot. Remember, he stumbled around?
Mm-hmm.
And, he got hit by a puck. It's going to happen. You're going to get hit by pucks. I get it. It's randomness for sure. But I'm not so sure that I don't look at this McKinnon thing and think, what are the advantages of having my very best player block a shot 50 feet from his goal, as opposed to getting the hell out of the way and letting the goalie do his job?
Mark Spector from Rogers Sportsnet joins us. And where do you come? Like, how much credit does Tortorella get? Or maybe how much credit does Kelly McCrimmon get?
Oh, listen, everybody gets credit when you win. And we all know everybody shares the blame when you lose, unless your name's Stuart Skinner or Darnell Nurse or an Oilers coach, then you get even more of it. Give Kelly McCrimmon credit. He fired an excellent coach at the perfect moment, and his team's barely lost a game since. So Kelly McCrimmon gets are you kidding me? That's general managing, 101 right there. And Torts, and me, I'm not a big Torts fan, but give credit where it's due, man. He's walked in there and got that team within a win of the Stanley Cup final. Who on earth could look at John Tortorella today and say, whatever? He's done a hell of a job there, man. That team was risking not making the playoffs when he was walking in the door, remember?
Yeah, no, it's true. Like, hey, I give him credit. It's worked for, like, I thought Vegas was a much better. I said, hey, Vegas and Edmonton, like, when the playoffs started, to me, they were teams that were legit contenders. Now, I didn't know that McDavid and Dickinson and Henrique were all going to get hurt in the same series, right, in the first few games. So that obviously changed it, and that's like injuries, Colorado. Once Cale Makar went down, I said, hey, that whole series changed.
Right? How come Kulak played 15 minutes last night? Is he hurt too?
Oh, man. He was on for a few goals I don't think the coach liked, so that might have been
a little bit.
But I think it's more so just you look at I got to look at the minutes played, but Kulak's when they were up 3-0, you would think that's when, okay, hey, let's play our guys that can defend for us. But it was like, I'm not a huge Malinsky fan, right? But I think it's Kulak's kind of on their third pair when Makar's in, right? Because because Burns was playing with Manson. Right. So
it's a nice defensive pair, a group. I just thought that I know he was playing 24 minutes because Makar was out, and I get that. Yeah. His minutes come down. Makar played 27 last night, but 15's a long way down. That's all. I feel like either he's hurt or something happened there. I can't believe a guy that's played as well as he's played has a bad period and the coach benches him. I mean, is that what we're doing there? Yeah. I don't know. But.
No, he was kind of their third pair guy, and I think obviously they moved him up, and they wanted to keep Burns and Manson. And some people in Colorado would say, "Hey, maybe you should split those guys up." But it might have had to do with the fact that it's not his fault when Malinsky got walked on the winning goal. That had nothing.
It is not.
Right?
It is not.
You're on the ice sometimes, and at that point now, it was basically they went to 4 defensemen after that.
Yes. Anyway, just wondering. I mean, listen, the Oilers fans we watched it live and in live color here. When a lot of injuries hurts your team. A lot of injuries to the wrong guys finishes your team, and that's what happened to Edmonton. They all the way down the middle, and Zach Hyman, their top goal scorer, they're all hurt. So Makar gets hurt. I know he played 27 last night, but he didn't have a point or a shot on goal, Jay. So. There's something's going on. He's obviously got a shoulder or something. Now with McKinnon, I don't know what his status will be for tomorrow, but the wrong guys get hurt, you're done. Find me a football team where they're going to win a whole bunch of games with their backup quarterback. Not many. Very seldom happens. Tell me a basketball team, take their top 2 guys out, see how they do. They don't do very well. So, It's bad luck. That's all it is bad luck. When those guys get hurt, it's bad luck, and you lose when that happens.
Yes, definitely. That is that's not ideal for sure. So, we look at the Montreal Canadiens and the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, and that's been a close series. Right now, I know everyone's like, "Oh my God, Montreal gets no shots," but you're right. They don't have quantity, but they had quality shots in that game. The slot shots were basically the same. So the one thing we know about Carolina is they don't give up a lot, but they'll give up some really good chances. And Montreal's a team that can finish, and that's and their top guys are still scoring. So I know everybody thinks, hey, Carolina, they're back, and they'll probably win, and they might win. I don't disagree with that, but they're open a little bit just because of when they do give up chances, they're usually grade A chances.
Yeah, absolutely. And Montreal has the mental edge of having solved Freddie Anderson here. They've got a bunch of goals past them, so there's no mystery there. Hell, they're one shot from being up 2-0 in the series. Now Montreal's going home. Now, I'd say this, talking to guys in Montreal, like just media guys, I've heard the theory more than once that the Habs don't do great in that atmosphere in Montreal. Like it's a real serious atmosphere there. It's really, really something. And they've given up a lot of early goals. They haven't been great at home, as good as they've been on the road. There's guys will tell you they prefer to see Montreal on the road. They play a better game. And we've watched that in Edmonton over the years, Jay, right? We've watched the Oilers be a better playoff team on the road than they are at home. And I don't know why that is, but I would say Montreal needs to figure that out, because there's not going to be a ton of wins in Raleigh here. Raleigh's, Carolina's a pretty solid veteran team. You better win your games at the Bell Center, and I'm pumped turning that one on tonight. It's going to be a blast.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it for sure.
What time should start? Is it a 5:00 game?
No. It's everything now. Every night, every game starts at like 6:10, basically.
6:10 our time.
Yeah, 6:10 Edmonton time. So you might get the odd Saturday afternoon one or so, but usually they're odd now. That they like the evening games and the way they roll. The orders, and I don't think anything's changed in the coaching search. I've talked about Darnell Nurse today on the show earlier on. I think a lot of people actually, based on response, like, yeah, Gregor, you're about right. Like all this talk about the orders got to sweeten the pot or get rid of Nurse for nothing. I'm like, you're delusional. If you want to trade Darnell Nurse for a hockey trade, sure, I can listen to that.
Trade, yeah.
But you're not dumping Darnell Nurse to free up money for what? The owners don't have a lot of guys do big raises, and it's not like there's a free agent pool, and they're like, oh yeah, but then you can trade. So now you got to give up more assets. Like you got to be realistic here.
Oh no, listen, he's a 22-minute defenseman on your team. Forget all the other stuff. Like he's a very well-respected player, and the guys in the room are, he's been a part of this thing since the very, very, very start. All of that stuff. I guess if you get rid of it, you get rid of it. But where are we finding the 22 minutes of ice time here? And most of them very solid. Yeah, sure, some pucks go in. I get it. That's why we're having this conversation. But, oh, boy, there's a lot of nights when Darnell Nurse eats up a third of the game or better defensively for you, and you're happy you have him. So I guess if I could I need another second pairing defenseman back that I can play 20, 21 minutes, Jason. That's what I need.
Yeah. No, it's 100%. Or you need two pieces or something. Like you got to get a quality player back in return.
Even two pieces. You just lost Kulak. Like who's coming on to this decor? If you take Nurse off this decor, trade him for a couple of forwards, who's playing the defense next year?
Bingo. Yeah.
Right?
And now I looked at free agents. Like Jamie Alexiak's an interesting name to me, no question. But
pairing guy.
Exactly. I was looking at his minutes. Like, could he be a second pair? Like, he's never really been a second pair. Like, the Oilers still believe they're a playoff team. So, now could Jake Wallman be a second pair? Okay, but what about the 15 or 20 games he's going to miss? Maybe that changes. Maybe suddenly he's not going to be injured as much. But so far, that's part of his resume is that he's missing 15 to 20 games. So you have to account for that on your team. So you need some other depth.
Man. Think of all the people who complained so loudly about losing Brett Kulak and what that did to Oilers defense this year. Take Nurse off it now, right? And put some guy in who's not as good. Like they put Spencer Stastny in there for Kulak, and we all said, oh, man, the defense isn't as good as it used to be. Okay, now trade Nurse for some guy that's not as good. Now you're going to say the same thing. So, no, Like, I'm not saying Nurse is untradeable. I'm not saying he's an unbelievably great player every shift. I'm not saying any of that stuff. I'm saying you got to get value for him, and you got to fill all the time that he logs on your blue line, or your blue line gets worse. And a team that's blue line is getting worse is getting further from the Stanley Cup final. That is a fact.
Yeah, no, that's true, 100%. The green and gold, it's a preseason game. I understand it, but they win. And for a team that hasn't won a lot, like, learning how to win becomes a skill. So I think it starts in the preseason. They threw the ball downfield way more than they did last year. You know, they had a pretty convincing win. I know that I'm not like saying, oh my God, they're ready, because I'm not there yet. NABC didn't play a ton of their guys. Nathan Rourke didn't play specifically. But when you look at that game spec for an organization that's stumbled out of the gate, how important do you think that is?
Well, they just need positive things. They got to stack positives on top of each other. You know, in the big scheme of things, Jay, as you know, a preseason win is a very tiny morsel of positivity, but it's something. It beats the hell out of getting beat by 30 points. So they go into BC, like all the elements of that game, they had a whole bunch of different guys caught balls. They ran 3 quarterbacks out there. And in fact, their starter probably had the worst numbers of the 3, and that's just fine with me. The other guys were really, had good numbers. They produced, apparently, I didn't watch the game, but I'm looking at, like, they ran through all different units. They must have had like 60 players, and every unit produced offensively, and obviously defensively, would they give up 16 points, I think? So, 16 points in the CFL game, we always say it, you hold the other team down to 20 and you're going to win almost every time in the CFL. So they've just stacked a couple of positives up. That's all. The points don't count. The win doesn't count, but they come home. They got a positive week. They get another game. It's going to be all kinds of fun on Friday at Clark. And you got to start somewhere, man. And this team is in arrears when it comes to positive instances, positive things to put on top of each other. They started well this year. Now you got to build on it. Won't mean nothing if you're 0-2, pal.
Yeah, it's very true. Spec, good stuff. We will chat with you tomorrow. Have yourself a great day.
You too.
There you go. That's Spec Report brought to you by GS Construction. Quick break, and Nick Anderson, linebacker from the Green and Gold, joins us. Hey, let's get some more kids. We got to get kids sponsored. We got Gary up to 80, so we're up to 80. We still got 20 more to go this week, so we can try to do it today. Let's go. Kid Sport Week, $25 for a kid to play. It's $25 a month. That's it. $300 a year. You can do one lump sum payment of $300, or you can do a monthly payment at $25. All you get a tax receipt courtesy of Kid Sport, and get the kids in the game. 833-401-1440. 833-401-1440.
They are nice, tasting just so right. You can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order Oodle Noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle Noodle.
Mr. Rooter gets attacked by a Canada goose.
Oh, look at that. Another on-time arrival. Nothing stops Mr. Rooter from plumbing on schedule. You gotta be kidding me. Hello, Mr. Goose. I'm Mr. Rooter. Okay, this is what you train for. Through rain, sleet, or goose, the pipes get fixed.
For a plumber who does whatever it takes, Mr. Rooter.
Cantork has turned 25. That's right, 25 years of building tools so good, they practically torque themselves. Hard work and innovation equals problem solved. See our latest designs at cantork.com.
From the first face-off, Sports 1440 is your home for hockey talk with live coverage, expert analysis, and pre- and post-game shows. We bring you closer to the game. Tune in 24/7 only on Sports 1440, Edmonton Sports Station.
Your weekend hotspot is at On the Rocks.
Party with Edmonton's best bands every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And we got them all.
From the Varkels to Tallboy, Radioactive, Curves, the Brute Squad, Morningwood, Rockzilla, Punch Buggy, and more.
Plus, the guy who keeps the party going every weekend. DJ Kenny K on the ones and twos, live.
Get ready to have a good time this weekend.
Your bar, your party. You're On the Rocks.
On the Rocks.
Jasper Ave and 118th.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
Since the 1930s, the Dorchester name has been synonymous with chuckwagon racing in Alberta. And now, it's just as well known for golf. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course is open for the season. A challenging 18-hole course nestled in the rolling coulees of central Alberta. Stunning views, reasonably priced, and only 40 minutes from Edmonton on newly paved roads. Play the course built with pioneer spirit and family pride. Dorchester Ranch Golf Course. Book your tee time today at dorchestergolf.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Crystal Glass, your clear choice for residential windows, locally manufactured and installed. Crystal Glass provides a beautiful product and incredible customer services for all of your residential needs. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca for a quote.
This is Sports 1440, where Edmonton talks sports.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Here's Jason Gregor.
Brought to you by playalberta.ca.
.530, welcome back. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson, Sports 1440, sports1440.ca, YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Over at the chat, talk to Donnie P about the Jays, you savage. Getting set for a little NBA action tonight. The Knicks are going to get the sweep, get to the final for the first time in 27 years. Well, they're going to the final. It's just a matter of when. No team in NBA history has ever come back 0-3, so it ain't happening for Cleveland. I can tell you that. What happened in sports all over the place? Of course, we even got the CFL. I love it. Preseason action going on the weekend, and the green and gold get a big win, 34-16. Now I know that it's a preseason game, but to me it doesn't matter. If you want to build a winning culture, it's got to start in those games. As we get to the Elks Report now, brought to you by Go Auto. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it. They got it. Over 15,000 to choose from at goauto.ca. 73 locations. You'll find one near you. As a middle linebacker for the Elks, Nick Anderson joins us. Nick, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank y'all for having me.
So Nick, where do you come out on, what you learned about your team in the preseason game?
Man, honestly, I just want to say it was fun to watch. It was fun to get back out there and then get on the sideline and just kind of be a vet in means of making sure that the younger guys knew what was going on, making sure the substitutions were running smoothly. And that was pretty fun because the whole offseason while I was injured, I was able to kind of be in that coaching role. But just to be a spectator and be able to see all the young guys fly around, man, I really just want to say a big credit to the front office because we got a lot of talent. It's going to be some tough decisions made this weekend, man. But I'm just so excited for the season because everybody was flying around. Execution was high. And a lot of people don't take really big interest in wins and losses in the preseason. But, man, to go out there and be able to execute the way that we did with a roster that's been put together and, learned in the past 2.5 weeks, man, it was fun to watch.
Yeah, you've talked about a lot of the skill. And, I've talked to guys on the offensive side of the ball, and they feel like there's just lots of depth in a lot of places. And, there's lots more experience too, right? Like there's there's obviously some raw rookies, but nobody right now who's penciled in to be a starter. Like last year on defense alone, you had multiple guys who are raw rookies, and it takes a while to understand the league. Like not everybody can come in and be rookie of the year, Nick. It's just not that easy, right? It's a hard league. So
it's hard.
You look at it, like I know you sat in on coaches meetings this offseason to really understand more about every player. So when you look at the guys around you, and let's maybe start in the secondary and what impresses you about that starting five? And I know that there's the two Williams guys battling for one halfback position, so we don't know who's going to be yet. But from what you've seen in camp and what you saw last year and what you saw maybe in the film room with the coaches, what impresses you? Or what are you most confident about your secondary?
Man, overall, like you said, just the camaraderie that room has. I'm able to be in touch with these guys off the field, and those guys went out to eat yesterday, and that's really something that's a simple task, but very big when you're talking about trying to get to the playoffs and play for a Grey Cup. To just have the level of camaraderie that they have off the field, it gives them the ability to be on the same page on the field. And we got an experienced corner in Tyrell Ford. I feel like he does a great job of leading a young, hungry group. You got Chalen in the sky playing free safety, a very vocal guy, a guy that's not afraid to hit. Started off the year last year as one of the rookies that, made the team and was playing by week 3 when we played in Winnipeg. Chalen was out there with us. And he had a very, very great season. You got Cordell Jackson, which was the team's defensive player of the year last year. Another guy that's just a born leader, plays with a big chip on his shoulder, a crazy athlete. And then you got Kenny Logan, K1, that's what we call him, playing the Sam position. And he plays it very aggressively. A guy with a high ceiling that can roll to the post, they can play half. And then, like you said, we got Kobe Williams, another guy that's an experienced veteran down from that we got last year from Calgary. Had a great year last year. Was a pretty much lockdown defender, a security tackler. And so when I just look around, man, oh, my bad. Let me not forget about lockdown corner JJ Ross. Another guy that's, about 6'2", 6'3", maybe, rangy corner. I feel like JJ has the opportunity to be one of the best, corners in the league in years to come. And we can come back to this conversation when it happens. But, just to have that group of guys and see the way that they bond together, not only off the field, but on the field and their calls, and just having that knit-tight group led by Coach AG, man, it's a blessing, man. As a linebacker, it's something that you love to have behind you.
Nick Anderson joins. So, Nick, it's a preseason game, and obviously, there's no Nathan Rourke, and there wasn't a lot of the top offensive guys. So, as a defense, when you're not going up against what's going to be the regular, what are you looking for as a leader from your team in those games?
Overall execution, man. Can guys line up and execute the call? Because obviously we're doing a lot of install for the season, but as far as the preseason game, we knock it all the way down to maybe 10 to 20% of our defense. And so it's like, okay, can you do the basis of what we're trying to do structurally in this defense? So really you just look for guys to line up and do their jobs, not looking to make any crazy plays, but can you prove to the coaches that you're able to be trusted with what they give you? And the plays will come when the season starts. And I feel like everybody did a good job of being where they were supposed to be, which is why I think we only gave up 10, maybe 13 points. But, to have that level of execution on defense from, the starters that played to the second and third level backups, man, it was great to see.
On the offense, you guys had 15 completions of 10 more yards or 10 yards or more downfield. It was a more aggressive play calling. As a defender, Nick. And specifically, I noticed there was lots more passes to the middle of the field. As a middle linebacker, can you talk about what the challenge is when a team starts attacking the middle of the field more than the outside?
Just overall, man, I feel like with the outside, you have to be more in tune to make a perfect throw, and the receiver has to make a perfect catch due to the limited amount of space that you have working with the sideline. But the fact that we were able to make so many plays over the middle really just takes me back to my rookie year when we played against BC and Jordan Maximic was calling plays out there, man, and Vernon Adams had the year that he had, that year. He arguably was one of the best quarterbacks up until injury that I played against my rookie year. And so for me to be able to see that offense every day in practice, and then for us to have a quarterback like Cody Fajardo, just running the show and holding the reins to that, man, why would we not have the explosive plays? And it's just a middle linebacker. It really just shows like, man, when the offense is able to throw the ball down the middle and get explosive plays through the middle of the field, it really is just demoralizing, if anything, as a defense. Because, you're looking for guys that have the opportunity to make 50-50 plays on the outside. But for somebody to just dot you up down the field and play with the high level of execution that we've been played with in the preseason game, man, it's amazing to see. And then not only that, but to have Taylor Powell be able to get into the game, and then Cole Snyder to be able to get into the game, and then Zach. I think every quarterback got in and threw a touchdown or explosive completion. And so to just, have that, and not only have quarterbacks that can do it, but an offensive line that can protect it and receivers that can go down and get it, and then be able to, do that consistently. And then you have Justin Rank, you have Javon Leak, you have Isaiah Knight, and the other, young running backs that can even have more productivity because we're able to take shots down the field.
Nick Anderson joins us. So, Nick, as you move forward into the final week of preseason, where do you feel are the areas you want to fine-tune as a defense? And are you expecting to play a little bit more in the second game?
For sure. I mean, I feel like one of the harder things in the CFL is that we don't get the opportunity to have OTAs and different environments like the NFL has, to where guys can, do a lot of their install during the springtime. But I feel like the biggest emphasis going into this last week of preseason is to just, have that unit as a defense to where we understand what's going on, we understand what our job is, but also not to overlook this last opportunity, understanding that a week from today, we're starting on game plan to play Ottawa. And so the season comes fast here. It's not like the NFL where you get a week off after the preseason. So it's really just going into this game with a high level of execution, knowing that the real game is literally next week.
Okay, and that makes sense. So you want to build on things. What about the chemistry between the linebacking core right now? What do you feel? Where do you feel you've improved as a trio for this coming season?
Man, just overall, man, just availability, dependability for this defense. We're a very linebacker-driven defense. Obviously, our defensive coordinator is a former standout linebacker himself. And so naturally, our defense is built to where the linebackers run the show, not by just making plays, but also aligning people, making sure that guys know what's going on around them, having that high level of communication. And I feel like we just got, a core group that's able to do that exceedingly and abundantly, to where, if one guy, falls, other guy can compliment him in that way. And so I just feel like we got a very tight-knit group. JC holds us to a high standard of execution every single day, and I feel like it pushes us to be the best version of ourselves individually. And so I just feel like our group is just, like we said, man, we got to run the show, and I feel like we're going to get that done this year.
Can you give me your thoughts on a player? I'm not sure if you knew anything about him, but he has opened up a lot of eyes so far in training camp. Justin Pace. What's stood out for you for
JP.
him?
Man, JP, man, I really love that kid, man. And I know I've only known him for 2.5 weeks, man, but just how ecstatic he was to come be a part of the organization. And just for him to talk about the aspect of the CFL being something that he's worked for, his entire career. Just to see him go out in the first preseason game and, just make play after play after play. And then also just to see everything start to slow down for him compared to when he first got here, first day of training camp up until the game on Saturday. Man, the sky's the limit for that kid, man. He's a young talent that's going to be great in this league one day. I already see it. And just a kid that shows up every single day, just excited to be there, excited to be in the building, excited to have the opportunity. And so I'm looking forward to what he does.
Nick, always great to catch up with you, man. Continued success. Enjoy the game at Clark. A little bit of an old school going back to where it all began for the team in the league. It'll be a packed house at Clark on this weekend, so enjoy that.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
There you go. That is Nick Anderson, middle linebacker for the green and gold. And hey, their linebacking core looks strong. Their defense looks good. It is only preseason. I get that. And there's no Nathan Rourke, so I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my God, the defense is great. But you can only win the games that you play against. And everything to me comes down to that June 6th game for Ottawa. Like I will say this, in the history of the Elks version of the organization, just the Elks, I would argue this opening game is maybe the biggest game they've had. They never had a playoff game. Never been close. You feel like you've improved your team, and you have a chance to build some momentum, open the season with a win, something that's never happened as the Elks, and build some momentum for your home opener 2 weeks later. It's a massive game. And so they want to try to keep building. I would expect those of you that are going to the game, and it should be an awesome atmosphere, man. I think everybody's closer. You know what? I think capacity when it's all said and done with the bleachers, might be around 10, right? So it's going to be sold out. It's going to be packed. And that makes it more fun. And it'll be an opportunity for the team to feel what it feels like to win, because there hasn't been a lot of those for a long time for that green and gold team. And winning can be infectious. And just because you win the preseason doesn't guarantee you win the regular season. I know that. But I think for this team, they got to try to build on something. You have to start in the preseason. We'll come back and wrap things up. It's a Gregor Show presented by PlayAlberta.ca.
Are new McCafe crafted sodas just drinks or something more? Like Sprite Berry Bliss, Creamy Strawberry Coke, and Orange Dream. All swirled with fizzy flavor and topped with silky cold foam. Only at McDonald's. At participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
The job isn't done until the last load is hauled, and having a semi-trailer out of commission is not an option. Whether replacing or adding to your convoy, Edmonton Trailer has a huge inventory of new and used semi-trailers, trusted by the gravel, logging, oil field, fluids, and freight industries. Find a trailer right for you online or at one of their 3 locations. For sales, service, parts, rental, and finance, when you're in it for the long haul, Edmonton Trailer.
Action Electrical Solar Team is now making a play for sustainability and savings. They're specialists in powering up for a greener future.
That's the strategy, designing and installing high-efficiency solar panels. They're helping homes and businesses combat rising utility costs by harnessing the power of the sun.
A smart move for efficiency and the environment. Hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
The Brick is thrilled to introduce the new exclusive Shaquille O'Neal home lineup of furniture. Each piece features premium Shacopedic memory foam for exceptional comfort, made to be lived in and loved for years. Each piece is built on a strong hardwood frame, offering sturdy comfort day after day. Head to any Brick location and snap a photo with Shaquille O'Neal. A life-size Shaq is waiting in store. Scan the QR code and upload your pic for a chance to win one of 4 Shaquille O'Neal home pieces exclusively at The Brick, saving you more.
Hear that? That's your entry calling. Go Auto is sending you to the biggest football event in the world, live in Vancouver, with tickets, flights, and a hotel stay for 2. To enter the contest, just text GAME to 780-777-7777. That's GAME to 780 all sevens. Go Auto, get in the game.
It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff, before the first snap. It starts with you locking in your season seats. This is Edmonton Elks football. The only way to experience it is being there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. The Elks home opener kicks off June 20th against Montreal. Your season seats are your way in. Get yours now at goelks.com/season seats. Edmonton Elks. Our city, our year.
Wendy's, get a 10-piece nugget small combo for just $8.99. That's right, $8.99 for 100% Canadian chicken, plus fries and a drink. That's just good nuggenomics. Only until June 14th. In restaurant at participating Wendy's locations. Taxes extra.
The puck is passed up through the neutral zone, and here's a breakaway. He's coming in hot. He shoots it. Oh no, a broken stick.
When it comes to performance, quality parts matter. Napa Auto Parts has all the reliable parts, tools, and more to keep your vehicle running like a playoff contender. With over 85 locations in Alberta, visit your local Napa store today or shop online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Portions of this hour brought to you by On the Rocks. Get the week started at OTR and head down for $3 hot dogs, drink specials, and bingo tunes starting at 8. Jasper Ave 118th or online at ontherocks.yeg.com.
The Jason Gregor Show, the best of Edmonton sports talk and beyond. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by PlayAlberta.ca, Alberta's only regulated online gambling website.
$41. All right, we're up to 81. We need to get to 100 this week. So, hey, you want to help us get there? Feel free, tell a friend. Think about it tonight. It's Kid Sport Week, and we want to help get 100 kids in the game this week. So it's $25 a month for a year, or one payment of $300. Now, if you want to do multiples, you can. So 833-401-1440 if you're driving home. Think about it. We'll be doing it all week. We're at 81 now. So we just got 2 more from Gary and Paul. So we're up to 81. So let's get there to the end of the week. All right. So we need 19 more. I'm pretty sure we can do it, but we'll help it out today and tomorrow. We'd like to get it done as quick as we can. So 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Jason Gregor, Connor Halley, Donovan Paulson with you. Few other texts, a lot of texts to get to on the show today. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. Hey guys, the goalie in Switzerland, why not look? They look better than Skinner, Jari, Pickard, and Ingram from Brian. I always caution Brian when people look and say a goalie in a world championship is like the NHL. It's not. Okay? A lot of the teams don't have NHL players. And it's a few games. Switzerland's looked great in this tournament. Awesome. And you can take a chance, but here's my question to you. So if you're Stan Bowman, are you saying your plan is to go into the season in year one of a 2-year deal for Connor McDavid and say, we're going to go with a complete unknown in goal? You could do it, but pretty big risk, right? I would say it's a fairly big risk. I think you can have one as your number 3, and maybe they develop and become that guy during the year. No problem, but I don't think you can start the year. Because what happens then? If it doesn't work out, what do you do? So that, to me, is the big risk. Guys, what exactly does a team need permission from another team to talk to a coach who's been fired? JC. Well, JC, they haven't been fired. They've been relieved of their duties, but they are still part of the organization because they have a contract and they get paid. So it's not like if you get fired from your job, right? Usually you'll get a severance package. You're done, right? Your job isn't paying you out. Like if you got 2 years left in your contract, right? But like when you get fired and you just are an employee, right? It's different. So that's why. It's just they have a contract that states they're an employee of the franchise. So he's been relieved of his duties, but he hasn't been relieved of his paycheck. And that's why teams require permission to talk to other teams. It's just how it goes. Hey, boys, I'm curious on how good do you think the Elks are going to be this year? Haven't we heard for the last few years they're going to improve, and they've never improved? Call me skeptical, but I'm not sold. Cons, where do you come out on that?
I think skepticism would be fair in this case. The last couple of years, I mean, it's been the slow starts that have absolutely crushed them in, losing close games. There was a couple games last year that dropped at the end, like in the end zone, literally cost them the game, and they catch those. They're in a fight, at least for the playoffs. I think they're going in that direction, though. I do think they are a playoff team. That's not just me being a homer. I think there's just a little more stability at the quarterback position. One less thing to worry about. They've got two outstanding running backs, Rankin, obviously, in my opinion, the best in the CFL. The offensive line has gotten better, and I think that's going to be a big thing. I love the interior of this offensive line right now, especially you get those short situations running up the middle. I will say, like, we've probably been hyping them up a little bit the last couple of years here. It just hasn't really gone their way. They haven't, you don't just win overnight and then continue to find ways to win close games. It takes time, and I think with the core that they've built up here, they're building that team. I need to see it, though. I still want to see the pass rush, like I said earlier on. That's something that I need to see in games, getting after the quarterback, forcing turnovers. But I think they're doing some of the little things. Like I said, you're improving your average per carry in the running game. That's massive. That sets you up for better situations on second down. Improved long drives gives your defense more time to catch the wind. So I think that Ed Hervey is doing all the right things, building up a good team, keeping the coaching staff in place. I've got them as a playoff team this year, so we'll see if it happens, I guess.
It is fair to say we'll see what happens. I will say their O-line is way better. I'm just going to start there. When somebody asks, why do I believe in their team? Because their O-line is way, way better. So that's where I'll start. Jays, can they get a win to start their series against the Marlins? What about the Habs and the Hurricanes? That should be a hell of a game, man. I'm looking forward to that. We'll also have more on the Elks. Also, the Riverhawks are back in action starting on Friday. So we got lots of sports to discuss. Have yourselves a wonderful Monday. Remember, it's Kid Sport Week. So tomorrow, we're hoping to get a few more people donate. We want to get to 100 on the week. So 833-401-1440. Let's get to the Con Man Sports 1440 update brought to you by Hire Good. For professional property services you can feel good about. Get Hire Good. Site cleanup, debris removal, seasonal maintenance, and more. Stable jobs create stable lives. HireGood.ca. Good night.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Final will tonight from Montreal Canadiens and Kings tied a 1 apiece. Puck drop in about 10 minutes time. Over at the World Championships, the United States knocking off Hungary 7-3, Czechs fall to Norway 4-1. There's Germany doubling of Great Britain 6-3, and Slovenia over Italy 5-1. Canada in action tomorrow, taking on the Czechs just after noon at the Memorial Cup tonight. Should be a fun one. Rangers and Silvertip, puck drop 10 minutes time, and in the association, 10 minutes. Cavs and Knicks from Cleveland. Knicks currently leading that series 3-0. Major League Baseball, Blue Jays in action heading into the fourth. They trail the Marlins 1-0. The Phillies also lead the Padres 1-0. And in Cleveland, Guardians trail the Nationals 10-2. Later tonight, Rockies, Dodgers, and the Athletics hosting the Mariners. Early today, Pirates knocking off the Cubbies 2-1. Rays fall to the Orioles in extras 9-7. Yankees got past the Royals 4-3, and the Reds down the Mets 7-2. That's going to do it for us here on the Jason Gregor Show. Coming up next on the AM dial, Blue Jays Marlins. If you're listening on a streaming platform, we've got Fox Sports Radio. I'm Connor Halley. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
It's Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen